Hello and welcome. My name is Cameihump, and today I'm joined by a fellow anime lover, Luna.
Hello.
Today we're going to be looking at the animes that I have seen personally. I have not finished all of these, but like a lot of them I have. So we're going to be ranking these ones. Luna, you've seen a lot of these, right?
Yeah, I'd say a bit over half.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so S plus is going to be like best of the best. Would recommend to anyone ever. And S tier is obviously S tier, A, B, C, D, and then F is like don't waste your time. So, first up, Pokemon. What are you thinking?
I think Pokemon is just one of those things that like everyone has heard of. There's games, there's everything. I think the anime itself, it's pretty good. I think the most of the hype from the franchise is about what came after the anime.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say the anime should be like A or S tier, just because it's just so well known and it's just
Yeah.
well loved by pretty much everyone.
Well, I mean, Pokemon's like the best entertainment franchise ever. Like
Yeah.
most sales of anything ever. They got the card game, the
hmm
show,
Yeah, I
there's
didn't even think about the
manga.
cards.
Yeah, the games, all the spin-off games. I think
hmm
like especially if you're so like, and obviously there's a lot of nostalgia to a lot of these animes,
Yeah, that's true.
but
I'd say A or B tier.
definitely for the
Like the
time,
anime itself,
yeah,
I think.
for the time I think it was really good. Looking back, like obviously if I went back to watch this now, I wouldn't watch more than probably like the Indigo Plateau, like the
hmm
OG, like the classic stuff. But and we're not talking about anime movies, but I mean, it's hard to look at anime movies without looking at Pokemon and that movie because that hit theaters. Like, that was big.
Yeah.
So, and that touched a lot of people going back and watching that. And Netflix had that, they remade it or like textured it or whatever. I don't know if you saw that.
I actually didn't know.
Yeah. So, it was pretty good. And then also, if you're talking like the story of Red and Blue, like I think I would put Pokemon in B because like it's but like there's so much nostalgia there and everything. But because of Red and Blue and because of Pokemon the movie and like the second movie even were really good, I think I'd put it in A.
Mhm.
Like I don't think like it is a super solid anime for the time and like it's still going. So obviously it's doing something right.
Mhm.
Next is well, this is your favorite. This is Black Clover, this one.
Black Clover is pretty good. I mean, I have not watched a lot of it. I'd say I've watched maybe a third of it. So
A third is how many episodes are out right now? Like
I
160?
don't know, but actually, only yeah. So I've watched about 50 or 60 episodes.
Okay, you're pretty far then cuz I'm maybe 20 episodes in. Maybe.
From what I've seen, I really liked it.
Mhm.
But the pacing was a little bit slow.
Yeah,
But apparently, it also just gets better from the point that I've seen.
for sure.
Um,
I can
so
see
I
that.
think, yeah.
I think that there's a lot of good like world building and stuff and
hmm
like a lot of these animes are really unique, but I think Black Clover man, it hits a little different though because it does remind me a lot of Naruto, but Naruto
Yeah,
being
it's
so
been said
big,
as like
like
it's
it's
been
hard not to copy Naruto in some ways. In some ways,
yeah. I mean, literally, pretty much all like the action animes here,
yeah.
like Jujutsu Kaisen is basically just
I know. When
But
I messaged you that, I was like, "Oh shoot, this isn't even the one that they thought was Naruto." Like it's just so much like it. I think
yeah,
because we haven't finished it though, I think I'm leaning towards B
yeah, I think so too.
because
From what I've seen, I'd say it's about B tier. I
and
think just because it's just a little bit slow and
yeah,
character development. I mean, it's sort of like the same for all the characters. But I mean, I don't know. I've seen not all of it, so I don't want to put a hard grading on it. But I think B
right,
tier is about where I put it.
yeah, because I like it's good. I'm sure it'll get really good. I'm getting that
Mhm.
vibe from it. Like not even what other people have said, but
Yeah, people have
also
been saying that it's like part of the new gen big three. You
yeah,
know,
I can see that. But
so like it's gonna pick up and it's gonna be good. But
it
from what I've
doesn't
seen, I'd say about B.
it doesn't exactly like hook you in like some of these other
hmm
ones. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay, this one is Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball.
I have not seen any of the Dragon Ball, so I don't
Dragon
really want to give an opinion on this.
Dragon
But
Ball
I
is the
mean,
only one I have seen, like, fully. I remember watching the original Dragon Ball pretty early in, like, my anime career, and I loved it. Like, it's like the animation nowadays, like, you can tell it's older. It doesn't hold up visually, but story-wise, like, you're getting Goku as a kid. Like, and people talk about the characters in Dragon Ball Z. Like, you're meeting most of those characters in Dragon Ball. So, I think a lot of the charm of Goku comes out when he's a kid. You know, he's like he's he's an alien and he doesn't know much about like anything. So, but his ignorance is funny but also charming, and he's still like really powerful and stuff, and you get to see the like you get to see a lot of change in him and all the characters. So I feel like it's really good.
mhm,
But because it is older, it doesn't hold up as well. So I can see putting it in C tier as well.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen either Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. I mean, all I know is Dragon Ball Z is just one of the most influential
Oh
animes
yeah,
like
yeah.
of all time. So like I definitely put Dragon Ball Z like pretty far up there, even though I haven't even seen it.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I trust your opinion on Dragon Ball.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna go B because you just said that, and Dragon Ball Z. I gave it a chance. I did. After Dragon Ball, I was like, I need to watch the continuation. Like, this is like Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden. Like, this only gets better from here. But
mhm.
the pacing of this show killed it for me. I swear I got 100 episodes in and then just couldn't. Like, if there was a cut down version, like, I'm talking no filler, cut down a lot of these fight scenes, like the screaming and stuff, and the like, I mean, people say Naruto talked people to death. Yikes. Like, that's where it killed it for me. And I understand this is gonna hurt people, but you having not seen it either, I don't think it's as good as the original Dragon Ball. So that makes me want to put it in C.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I don't really want to give a big opinion on it because I know I'm gonna make a bunch of people mad. But
Hey, this is my list, and these are
Go
the
ahead.
animes that I've seen. You're here for emotional support, for when the comments come in, and so I don't know. It's not something I've ever even thought of revisiting, which is pretty sad. But I mean, yeah, where everybody talks about it, and it was super influential and spun off like a ton of different series, and the abridged and everything that all blew up. Like, I can understand. Like, this, there's good story, there's good characters, but the pacing was really bad for me. So,
Mhm.
see, it is Death Note. This got a
I
Netflix movie.
I've got to okay. We're not talking about the movies,
Yeah,
Camel.
we're-
All right.
Yeah.
I want to give Death Note one of the top 3 tiers because it's just super like you've seen it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's a lot of it that is just it's really really good. A lot of people like started anime with Death Note.
Yeah.
It's one of those like original or it's one of those like gateways.
Yeah.
Um I think with the and then like if you look back at it like the soundtrack and the animation, it was just really good.
Hmm. I don't think
And
I've
then the
done that.
story itself.
The story
You didn't what?
is super unique, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
super.
I've never like looked up the soundtrack or anything, so
It's really good.
I'll have to pull it up sometime. But yeah,
Or,
this.
or I should say more like the sound design. Or
Okay.
like cause yeah, I want to
Okay.
give it
Yeah.
ARS tier for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I can see that because it's one of those like shorter anime, but that
Mhm.
it took off. Like, I think it came out in a great time. But yeah, the story I think is super unique, and I loved L. Like,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah, some of the characters that in Death Note were just like really well
Fantastic.
done.
And after L though, like, and not to get into spoilers, but after he was like not so much in the picture, I felt like the show took a dip. But The
But then
ending,
yeah,
the
the
ending
ending
was
was
so good.
so good. It's like one of the greatest endings in anime. But
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely feel that after L, um, and like sort of like that mid or like that late mid part of it was a
yeah,
little bit down, but the ending really just made it up for me. At
yeah.
least, yeah, I mean, at least for me.
But I think that's because of how good L was written, like,
Yeah,
and how they played off each other. Like, I mean, you
yeah, for
know.
sure.
So okay, I'm gonna put it in A, but
Hmm.
I reserve the right to move any of these at any time. All right. So now and in the future. But moving on, Naruto. This is pretty easy for me.
I think Naruto is pretty good. Um, I mean, it's one of the big three.
Mm.
Um, do you have Shippuden on a different part of this, or is this including Shippuden?
This includes Shippuden. Like this is Naruto. The whole story.
The whole story.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole story, I'd give it A or B tier. I think it was really good. Yeah, I mean, I'd put it probably in B tier.
Mm.
I think it's really good. At least for me, the filler and the pacing, it's just I haven't
Yeah.
finished Shippuden.
Yeah.
Like it takes a long time.
It is
Um,
worth finishing though.
yeah, I mean, I definitely plan to finish it. Just I
Yeah.
think for the pacing and the filler, it's just
Yeah.
everything. I think
The
I
filler
don't
the
want to
filler
give
is
it.
bad. The filler is
Yeah.
really bad. And there's a lot of it. I think there's like
Hmm.
almost half, like 40% of the show is filler. And like I'm so glad that anime is moving away from filler in general because now we're
Hmm.
into like seasons, which is great. I think I remember talking to you and being like, I don't know what season I'm on. I'm on this episode because that's how it
Yeah.
was. Like you didn't have seasons. You had, after the fact when it came out on like DVD and whatever, they would put it in collections and like blah blah blah. But even you flip it over, it's like episodes 49 through 73. Like that's just what it was. But now that we're
Yeah.
getting into seasons, we're getting a. I think it's really healthy because we're getting a lot more shows, and
Hmm.
B, hopefully, these people aren't overworked trying to animate these things for us, like they were back when they were trying to pump it out every week.
Hmm.
So I think,
I think that's a big reason why, like the pacing was
yeah,
rough because they just didn't have the time
for sure.
to post weekly episodes on like really big arcs.
Hmm.
You know,
Or
they
they're
had to
waiting
like
for the manga to come out.
exactly,
Like
yeah, they
that's,
couldn't. The anime, like the requirement for that
yeah.
was like too great for
Hmm.
the manga. Like they would just run out, so they had to put in filler in there.
That's why there's so many episodes. I think if you
Yeah.
were to cut out all of the filler, like this is S tier. It's S tier with no filler. You just story. It's a long story, but it is
But
worth
it's
it.
so good. It
There's
is
so
one
many
of the top.
characters. There's so much character development. Like,
Hmm.
and this was my gateway anime. This is what I started in high school with my buds, and I watched it dub. And hate me if you want, I watched it dub until I got to the point where I could not watch it dub, and I had to switch to sub. And so I watched it with subtitles, and I hated reading it, but the voice acting was really good as well. Like, I
Hmm.
liked the dub. I think they did a really good job casting. And the sub was like, after a few episodes, like, you just get used to it. You don't even notice it.
Hmm.
Got to the point where I had to read the manga every week with my friends. And that's what we did in study hall. We would read it and then talk about it. And it was like, I have so many memories with this show. This show, Naruto, has made me feel the most out of any show. And I think it's because it's so long, but there's
Hmm.
so many ups and downs, and there's so many like highs, and there's so many sad moments too. And I could
Hmm.
really empathize with a lot of these characters and sympathize. But
Yeah.
also, it's ninjas. It's about ninjas
Yeah.
and war, and it's just like, what? So I'm putting an S. I think, like, if
I
you,
think that's good. I mean, from what I've seen,
yeah,
I'd put it lower, but like everyone is saying, like it's good,
mm,
and like I'm sure it picks up from where I'm at right now.
mm,
Um, and where I mean, honestly, I think it's just because I haven't really seen it too much.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think this is a good face.
yeah. If
Just
you
because
can,
like it's part of the big three. It's just one of those animes that you can't not watch.
yeah, if you can get past the original Naruto, I think it's 150 episodes or something. A lot of that is filler. You can get into Shippuden, like you're doing God's work. And
Yeah.
I wish you could just skip the filler. Like I hate that you have to look it up and be like, okay, which episodes am I watching? Which half episodes and stuff. But if so, like I do plan on rewatching all of Naruto, but on that rewatch, I'm gonna skip filler. I've seen, like I said, I started reading it at one point, so there's that filler that maybe I haven't seen, which also means I haven't seen the big ending in animation yet, which is exciting in itself. But yeah, I would not watch the filler, and I wouldn't recommend that anybody watch the filler because it's a lot of episodes anyways. But yeah. So that's where I stand on that. But Naruto, my first love. All right, Domestic Girlfriend.
Oh, it was so good.
So good.
I really enjoyed it.
So good.
I was looking for anime, and then like Cam,
I hit you with this.
You recommended it for me.
Yeah.
And then you described it, and I was like, "Hello, what?"
Fantastic.
And like I was so confused, and then I started watching it, and I was like, "Okay," I thought it was super good.
Mm-hmm. So Domestic Girlfriend is about a guy who ends up, crushing or having a girlfriend who he lives with, but like, it's oh god, it's so woo. It
You don't even want to say it.
I know because it is so good, and I've not to be like I liked it before it was cool. Like I found this on my own. Nobody recommended it to me. It was like dumb luck. I'm scrolling through list of anime and I just clicked it because I was like, Domestic Girlfriend. What the heck was this about? Something else that I don't want to say right now. And so I click it. I'm like, what is this? And I read the blurb and I was like, all right, this looks good. And I saw it was brand new. I was like, oh, dope. Like, let's go. Watched it. Boom. And then I start seeing videos of it everywhere. And I'm like, okay, dude. Like,
Can I say
man.
one more thing?
Go for it.
The intro is so
good.
well known, and it is so good.
Yeah.
It puts it up a tier just for the fucking intro alone. Sorry, wait, is swearing okay?
I think it's fine.
I'll try to dial it back. But
no, but it's that good. I agree.
It's that good.
It's that good. I loved this, and I had to recommend it to someone. Like as soon as I finished it, I was like, you won't believe it. Like it gets your heart like racing. Like there's like that suspense and like thriller aspect, but then there's also like the romance and the comedy aspect, and there's quite a bit of romances on this list because after this I wanted to watch more. Like, and I hate that I have to wait so long for season 2, but also I like it because season.
Wait, there's gonna be a season 2?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. S tier.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I agree.
This is my gateway to like rom-com animes.
Yeah.
It blew me away. And it's like that forbidden love aspect too. Like, I don't know. Like, there's so much appeal to it for some reason. Like, not even like to like want it, but like to like watch it. Like, it's entertaining. But yeah. Shoot, I forgot that we're supposed to be like recapping these a little bit for people who have no idea.
But it's hard to recap.
It is. That's a hard one to recap because you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But
speaking of gateway rom-coms, Your Lie in April.
Yes, sir. I watched this pretty late. Like this is an older one for sure, and I watched it maybe like third or fourth in my rom-com like binge. So, but I like this one. Like this is about music.
But it's also just it's so much more than just
so
music,
much more than music. But if you like classical music,
even
you're
if you
gonna
don't
like this.
music.
Even if you don't, it's you're right. But if you like classical music, I don't think there's any other anime on here that's about classical music or has it involved at all. Like,
or uses it that well. Like there are some animes that like have it like in the soundtrack at one point or another.
For sure.
But nothing uses it as well as Your Lie in April.
There is like, and they show how the music affects. And at first I was like, this is kind of corny, but then like you show how music can affect people, and these
Mhm.
people who appreciate classical music, like, and I love all kinds of music, literally all kinds. People say that, and no, I like all kinds. Like, I will listen to anything, but
Mhm.
like, to really appreciate music and the person playing it, like, this almost gave me a different perspective, and I thought that was awesome. And
Yeah, I
the
mean,
animation is fantastic.
yeah, the animation is super, super good. What I especially liked about the anime is as you're listening to the music, you get more and more, like, you like it more and more as you get more involved with the characters.
Hmm.
And yeah, it
Yeah,
was really good.
the character development and stuff, it really comes out, and they use the
Seriously.
music to do that as well, and it's really good. And everybody talks about
Mhm.
how sad this is, but honestly, it wasn't that sad by the end. Like, I was sad in some of the mid bits. I was like, what? Like,
The ending,
crying.
though. Okay,
I
come
know
on.
the
The
ending.
ending was really sad.
But this is good. I don't know if it's Death Note Pokemon good, or if it's
I'd
Dragon Ball
I'd
Black Clover good. I'm definitely
I'd
hovering
give it
around
like,
AB.
yeah, I agree. I'd put it like A minus. That's like
A minus, B
uh
plus.
yeah, B plus, yeah.
Okay, we'll go B plus.
Yeah.
But it is a good one. It's fairly short too.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga.
I really, really enjoyed Vinland Saga.
You recommended it to me, and it took me a long time to finish the last episode because
Yeah, the
I
ending I don't think they did well.
I was like, I don't know how I want it to end. Like,
Mhm.
I think I left on the last two episodes because I was like, what is gonna happen? There's a
Yeah,
They're gonna continue it though,
I'm pretty sure.
so it's gonna get a season 2, and I think that makes it like even better. Like, this, so it's
Yeah.
about Vikings, and specifically like a father and son,
Hmm.
and the animation, like the fight scenes, and there's a lot of blood and gore, but like the fight scenes are so good. Like,
Yeah.
and a Viking anime, like, again, like, I don't think there's anything else on here about Vikings. Like, what? How
Yeah, and
cool is
it's one
that?
of those. It's a Viking anime, but it's also not like all the characters are meatheads.
Right,
You know, like
right.
where it's not like a stereotypical Viking. I think like I've talked to some people, and it's like it's really historically accurate as well.
Yeah.
But it does it in a way that it doesn't like bore you. Dude, it's funny. I have the Vinland Saga book 2 on my desk right now. It was in my top 3 anime for a very long time.
Really?
I really, really enjoyed it. I think that they didn't do the ending properly, but the fact that they're making another part of it is
Mhm.
really, really good because I don't think that that's how it should have like ended
Ended.
the series.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that they're making more of it.
Okay. I agree with that. I think as it stands right now, it's really good. Like,
Yeah, I think if they do the next part of it really well, I'd bump it up to A tier for sure,
I
or
can see
maybe
that.
S tier.
yeah.
But I mean, that's only if the second part of it is as good as the first, if not better.
Yeah.
You know?
The original opening too, the first
Oh.
one, that's fire.
That
So
was
good.
really
I
good.
I remember watching this, and I put it in a playlist and just put it on repeat. The minute 30 that it was, like, it was that good. I really enjoyed it.
Here's the thing about anime openings, and I think that an anime that's really good needs a really good opening.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching a show and like you watch the intro,
Mhm.
you want to get like super hyped, you know?
Yeah.
And like when there's a really good opening, it really paves the way for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And I think and like openings like in Domestic Girlfriend, it's super important to have that where
Mhm.
like you get really involved with it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And not only that, like, you like remember the show by how the opening makes you feel, because the show makes you feel a certain way, and you associate that with the music and like the scenes in the opening, and it's like, yikers. Yeah, it's, I don't know about like my top 5 openings, but top 5, I think it would be up there. Like, it would be up there, if not
Yeah.
top 5, for sure top 10. Like, the opening there, oh, really,
Mhm.
really good. And
It's very good.
it's a good anime. So
Mhm.
next up is Golden Time.
I have not seen this one yet.
This is a rom-com about I want to say college students, but I'm probably wrong, and it's probably high school students, because the culture is a little different, where like in Japan you can kind of like choose your high school, whereas like in the States you cannot. It's based on where you live, and I get their high school and their college mixed up a lot, but I feel like most animes aim towards the younger, so the high school, but this could be college, because I swear I remember someone studying to be a lawyer. How do you do that in high school? I don't know. So, Golden Time rom-com. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Am I excited for another season? I don't know if it's getting another season. It makes you feel... There's ups and downs for sure. There's some slow moments, but then there's some fast moments. Like you don't know what is happening or why it's happening. I think there's good characters here, but relationship-wise and stuff, I think it goes in C. Like, it's good. It's pretty good. Like, but it's not really good, you know?
Mhm.
So, I
Okay,
mean, there's
before we go on,
not a lot
sorry.
I can say about that, but
Before we go on to this one, that's probably going to be controversial just because of
For
how
sure.
we're labeling it.
for sure.
I just want to say, the more I think about Vinland Saga, the more I want to put it up to more A tier. You know,
Okay,
the
why?
more I think about it, like
Sell
I
me on
don't
it.
want to put it. Okay, here's the thing.
Mm.
I don't want to put it below Pokemon, just because Pokemon has that reputation.
True.
I don't think. I think the character development of the main character is one of the greatest in
Yeah.
most animes. You know, it's so good, and it really ties you in to how people sort of like lived back then. You know,
Mm.
with like I'm thinking about, you know, like the scene where like they're once a week or like once every while they like bathe in the river. Like
Yeah.
that's just how it was.
Right.
And like it's really, and then the animation is so good. Like I keep remembering the scene, you know, where him and like his rival slash mentor are like at like those ruins and they're really talking about it,
Mm.
or talking about like where the country is going, and it's just like it really
Yeah.
brings you in.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, I want to
Okay.
I want to boost it up because I don't want to put it in the middle. I want to put it above the middle for sure.
I can see that. There are like when they do talk about war and stuff, they cover they cover it in a way that it's like all include, like it's like a sphere. Like they're not just talking about their side, they're talking about both sides, and they're talking about how it affects things. And also there's like, you know, spies and stuff, and like stuff that you don't really think about, like undercover
Like, do you
agents and
remember the
stuff.
scene where they're meeting with that like head Viking guy, like that them and like
Yeah.
the more of the pirates, and like there's that dude behind the like the tapestry and stuff, and
Mhm.
like, oh my god, that scene, and then oh okay, I want to put it above
Okay.
I mean above B.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. I also feel like it might be like overhyped in the sense that it's everybody talks about it. Everybody talks about it as like a sleeper anime and everything, but I think it's getting maybe not overhyped, but it's getting a lot of hype, and for good reason. So I'm okay with moving it to A. I was on the fence about it for sure. I think season 2 is going to be like where it ended in character development for the main character was
it
good.
didn't feel like an ending of the series,
but it's
it
for
didn't
sure
feel like
it's just the beginning. Yeah. So okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Avatar: Last Airbender. This is not Legend of Korra. I don't have Legend of Korra on here because Last Airbender is not really an anime. It depends on how you classify an anime. So it's not. It's made in the U.S., so it's not from Japan, and I mean Nickelodeon did it, right? So
Yeah.
But the way I see it, yeah, it's not just another cartoon. I don't see it as one of the cartoons from my childhood. I see it as an anime, just like Pokemon, you know? So even though it's not from Japan, I'm associating it as an anime, and that's why it's here. So I think it's pretty obvious that this is pretty high up.
Yeah, I
But
think
how
it's
high?
also the appeal that it was like really good for all ages.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a kids show. They really talked about, and they also really talked about like serious matters, you know, and
this is
the way
another
that
one. They
handled it
covered
was really
heavy
good.
stuff. Really heavy stuff, and they did it well, and there's a lot of comedy, and there's a lot of emotion, and it's
And
broken
the
up.
animation, like what's coming to mind when I think of Avatar. Sorry, I'm eating something right now. What comes to mind is that scene with Aang and Zuko and with the dragons, and it's just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just a really, really, really well done. And I want to give that like A tier or B tier for sure.
Yeah,
I'd give it A tier.
I
but
think
mean,
so too.
It's your list.
I think because, like you said, that it is for anybody, which is what I think. That's what every cartoon, that's what every anime aims to do, is like you want to put this on for your, especially one that's on Nickelodeon. You want to put this on for your kids, but you also want to be able to watch it too. It's just like with animated movies, they do the same thing.
Because I definitely know there's like when you put on regular kid shows, like right now with like I don't even, nothing is coming to mind. Maybe like Paw Patrol or something, you know. Like when you put on a kids show, it's really like the adults can be pulled into it.
I
you know?
mean,
like it's really.
If you could name one toddler show that adults can be pulled into, I would give you my
I'd
bank
say
account.
the last thing is either Avatar or I mean the last thing I can think of is a movie, How to Train Your Dragon. You know, that's the last thing that I can think of. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that Avatar did it really, really well, where all audience could watch it. That's why I think it's so high.
I think the pacing's really good, and I think that the character development is there for sure, and the set of characters that you get is great. And then, like you said, Zuko has his whole arc.
Some of the best character development.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish, I think he was changed like a lot, but really well.
Because he went from,
I think they covered it well,
someone that people hated to someone that people were rallying behind. Like, you're rooting for him by the end, you know? And, Legend of Korra is not on here, and if it was, it'd probably be D.
Yeah, I mean, I
did
think
not like
it was okay. I think they
I don't even think I finished it.
Really, really hard to like come after Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I don't think it's as bad as people say, but I still don't think that it's very good.
The first season is pretty good, and I would give it B or C, but then it just goes downhill. And I think it is, you're trying to live up to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, and it sucks because like you want more of Avatar in that world, but like not for the money, not for the wrong reasons. And I know that they did a lot with the show, and it has its good moments. It does. But it's like the character development's not there. The crew is just like a knockoff crew. I don't know. Yeah. And that's how I feel about it. It's not on here, so probably best to not talk about it. All right. Volleyball.
Haikyuu. I really, 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 really enjoyed Haikyuu. And I think there's a lot of I think the fan base and it kind of it gets
yeah.
But I mean I think if we're just talking about the anime,
yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it, and I think that I mean there wasn't really, I guess you could say there's character development, but that's not really what the show was about, you know. It's a sports anime. And I think, and then I want to just want to say it again, the intros every single time it got me so hyped.
Yeah.
And then watching the anime.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, I think that the pacing, like you can watch an entire season and it'll be one game of volleyball, you know. And I think that they have to work on that. But at the same time, I also think that they did pretty well. I want to give it like B tier.
Is it that bad? Where like it's only one game of volleyball?
It's not that. Well, this last season.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
Okay,
but, like,
I haven't seen the latest season, but
the latest season it's really good. I'm like, okay, when I say it's like the pacing is bad, the pacing is bad, sure, but I also still think that the show is really good, even with bad pacing.
Yeah.
Like, I really like it.
I think there's a lot of people who didn't know how to play volleyball, and now they do because of the anime. Or like
it's one of the more influentials. Like,
for sure.
Really gets you super, super, super hyped, and like you're like, damn, I want to play volleyball now. You know,
why does this look so fun? Why does nobody play this here? Like, yeah, but exactly. I can't remember if you got me into this or not.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I want to say you did.
I recommended it to you for sure. I'm not sure if I recommended it while you were watching it or not, but I'm pretty sure
No, I'm pretty
I
sure I watched it because you recommended it, and
yeah.
like it was big at the time, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean for sports animes, like this is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. I want to put it in A, and it's
Yeah, I
not.
agree.
I don't think it's. It could be overhyped, but I also think it's properly hyped. Like it's one of those ones where like it deserves the credit that it has gotten in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways, but I mean, if you're saying that they be doing the one game in a whole season,
It's not one game per season. I was exaggerating a
but
bit
it
there. I
feels
was
it. It feels it, and that kind of
Yeah, but at the
sucks.
same time, you're also really engaged in that one game.
Yeah,
Like it's bad pacing, but like you also like because of that reason, you get super engaged with each game.
yeah,
And I also like that it's not one of those animes where it's like you win every game,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much, but I don't think that it was just one of those animes where you're like let's work as a team and win every game
Yeah,
in the anime. Like it wasn't
for
one of those
sure.
animes,
I
which is
mean,
really hard for sports animes to do. You
it's
know?
definitely got the underdog and the underdog
Mm.
team aspect and everything, but
Yeah.
I think it does it really well, and I think it's definitely worth watching. Like I said, a lot of people like. I feel like this was a lot of people's gateway into the sports animes and what they were
Mhm.
like. I don't know if people, you know, took went further into them. I personally have only watched one other sports anime. It's on here. We'll get to it eventually, but I
I've
mean,
only watched two more after it. Like I really enjoyed it, and it opened my eyes to sports
yeah,
anime, but it wasn't like a gateway as much as like my rom com anime or like Your Lie in April.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I can see
But
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like fighting animes too, like there are a lot of them that fights span multiple episodes or entire arcs. It's just one fight,
Mhm.
and so one game. That's where the content is, anyways. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's good. It's good and bad, but maybe the pacing could be better. All right, I don't think you've seen this one. This one is Golden Boy.
I don't believe I have.
I think it's like 6 episodes, and you need to
Oh
watch
wow.
it. So,
Okay, good to know.
yep, it is about
I don't really
a
got
Golden
time for
Boy.
6 animes. I'm sorry.
6 animes or 6 episodes? Hello,
Six
you
episodes.
could crush this in one evening. All right.
This game getting good.
So this is about a guy, chill dude, and I think I liked it so much because of the comedy is hilarious, and it's just about this guy, this average Joe, who just lives his life, and every episode is different. He's just doing his thing in a different city with and there's a lot of like pervy jokes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hilarious because I mean, yeah. So is that crude? Like, is that maybe? So, I mean, uh, viewer discretion is advised. But it's 6 episodes. I think it's really good. I think because it's only 6 episodes, I'm giving it A. If it was more, I mean, I still might give it A because it's that good. But I think everybody should watch it if you like anime. If you it has the crude jokes, but they play it off really well, and it's all humor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it is pretty original too, so I like that a lot. All right, next, what is this one?
I
Oh,
don't know.
oh no. Okay, so this is why the heck are you here, teacher? But the heck is the other one. So this is I remember I told you about this, but I wouldn't tell you the title.
Oh, that's this one.
That's this one. This is super sexual. So if you don't like that, don't watch this. Don't watch this. But again, it's accompanied by humor. And I liked it too. It was I think it was like 12 episodes or something. And it is all like forbidden love. Like this, that's how I found this one. And I heard that the comedy was really good, so I gave it a shot, and I ended up liking it. It is pretty sexual. It is really sexual. So again, like, but in those 12 episodes, you go over like 4 guys and 4 girls, obviously, and it's a journey, but it's also like it's not real. Like this is fake, and because it's fake, like it's So I enjoyed it. I don't know if I wouldn't give it A. I don't even know if I'd give it B because of how sexual reliant it is. But it is really funny, and like I said, it's pretty short. So I like the short ones because you can get them out of the way.
Yeah, they don't go on for a million years and ruin the show. They're like,
Yeah,
short and sweet.
I'm gonna put it in C, but it was definitely good, and like I said, it covers the four of them and their relationships and stuff, and it's that forbidden love aspect, and it's you just know it's not real, but the ending wrapped it up well too, so I will give it that. But don't watch that one. To you, don't watch that one. Okay, next, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
It was my gateway anime.
Yeah.
I think animation is so top tier.
Yep.
And then just the emotion of and just the character of it. I mean,
Yep.
everything is just so good. And I don't think a single person could watch it and not at least somewhat enjoy it and want to watch the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It's just so good, and it's really unique too.
Yeah.
That's what I like. It takes because it's sort of it's one of those action animes, but like it's like the whole alchemy thing. Like that's really unique. I haven't really seen anything like it since.
Mm-hmm.
And then the characters themselves are really unique. Like the brother, like that is I don't know. I think it's just one of those animes that are like standalone, just one of the greatest of all time.
I think that everything you said and then some, like this is if this is not like this is the only anime that I will recommend to anyone to get them into anime. This is the one you want to recommend something that they'll like. You want to recommend something that will intrigue them and so that they can experience what anime is. This has the world building, it has the fights, it has the jokes, there's a little bit of romance. There's just enough to like have it in there. You know, it's like Lord of the Rings. Like there's romance in there. But it's not
a romance anime.
Exactly. This it has everything, and it's the only anime that I can truly recommend to anyone ever to watch. It's fairly short. I think it's like 60 episodes, and compared to others, that's not that bad. But it covers so much. The pacing is really good, and the world building is, like you said, it's really unique. And you follow these two brothers in their journey through the world, and they're famous for what they do, but they're also like, because of what they've done, like it's really heartwarming and everything, and it's a must watch for everybody.
Yeah, their journey, it's just
S+.
Everything about it is just almost to perfection.
Yeah. So that is the only one I can put in S+. And it's not even like Naruto, my first love.
You can, yeah.
But it's not S+. And I hate to
there
say
are a few in there that like you want to put in S+,
yeah,
but like you can't really for at least one specific reason or another.
Right. Those reasons, like what makes it S+ is that everybody can watch it, and it's the only one I recommend. So if you know someone who has never watched anime and you want them to get into it, and you're like, oh, watch this one, but you got to start them off with something that they'll understand, something that's not too hard to follow. You know, it's got a little bit of everything.
Another thing is that the dub is super good.
The dub is so good.
Like when you I mean I've seen. Okay, here's the thing. I started with Fullmetal Alchemist and then I watched Brotherhood, and Brotherhood is so much better. I've seen both of the two animes, subbed and dubbed, and it is one of the only that I can say I preferred the dub.
Yeah, wow.
Like, it is, and that's another reason it's so good for beginners.
Yeah.
Is because the dub is so good, and like when you get people hooked on it, you don't want them to just like always be reading subtitles.
Yeah.
So it's just really good.
Well, because a lot of people don't watch anime because of subtitles.
Exactly.
They wanna hear it in their own language, and like, I can't fault you for that. Like,
exactly, that was my reason until I watched Brotherhood.
Yeah, for sure. And like there are two different animes. There's Fullmetal Alchemist and there's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Brotherhood is essentially the remake, because
so what happened was Fullmetal Alchemist, they ran out, like they caught up to the manga, and then they kept going, but they went off course, right?
Yeah. The
Brotherhood is like the remastered version, and it's to the manga. It's like to the manga.
It closely follows the original story, because I mean it's a Game of Thrones situation here. Like you catch up to the source material, and then the show writers and those people, not like anything against them, but it's just not as good as the original. Like,
Yeah.
and who can blame you? Like, you're not the one who's created this world, who created these characters. You don't have a plan for them. You haven't set those seeds, you know? So, you know, I've never seen the original because I only watched Brotherhood. I was like, hey, if it's worse than this,
Honestly,
like,
if you're gonna watch it, just watch Brotherhood.
yeah,
Don't,
exactly.
yeah.
You don't have to watch the other one first. I recommend that you don't watch the other one first.
Yeah.
Watch Brotherhood. So, all right, Beastars. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
Oh
I
my gosh. Okay, it's Netflix. So
I gotta get on it.
I don't know.
But like, it's hard for me to start, you know. And like, I know that it's like really, really good. It's just hard for me to start it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, for one, it's on Netflix, but I mean, hey, Netflix is really trying to make anime be one of their things. Like, they want to compete with Crunchyroll and Funimation, and good for them. You know, if they can make it happen, make it happen. You know, I'm not gonna say no to A, making more animes, and B, like making it more accessible for people to watch. But
Yeah.
Beastar is about Beast. So if there was a lot of hate for this anime because it's like a romantic anime that involves animals, but it's not animals. Like, it's almost like it's like a ethnicity thing, you know, or like a race thing. Like, you don't see the animals and be like, ew, they're animals. You see it as like, oh snap, we got the carnivores and then the herbivores, man. Like, and these carnivores eat the herbivores. Like, they straight up, like, you know. And it's that social and societal battle and going against the norms and stuff. And there's really good points. And the character development of the main character specifically is really good. So, but I can see why people would not want to watch it. So, I want to say B or C. And the fact that you haven't seen it is not helpful here. But I would watch it. Like, okay, so if you... I wouldn't necessarily go out of your way to watch it as it is right now. But I don't know if they're doing a second season. So
yeah, they're continuing it.
When? What? What?
Pretty soon, I think.
Okay, good. So,
Or I think it's just upcoming winter.
okay. So maybe it'll
I
get
don't know if
better.
they'll be on
But it's pretty good, but I wouldn't go out of your way to see it. So I would just say C, it's solid. Like, it's pretty good. All right. This one, Science Fell in Love, So I Tried to Prove It. Have you seen this one?
I started watching it. I liked it, and I recommended it to you.
And I
I
finished
hadn't
it.
finished it. I got caught up with other animes.
I finished it. Well, I mean, I always think that, like, when you start listen, when you've seen as many animes as I have, all right, you get a feel for like how you're gonna like the anime within a few episodes. And if you're struggling to watch episodes, like, that tells you
that I was struggling.
tells you how you feel.
Just like I had restarted One Piece at that point.
Oof,
And like
that's a journey.
it is a journey, but it's a good one, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I mean, it's not that I struggled with the episodes. It's just I got caught up with other stuff. But
I
from what I've
struggled.
seen, I think it's a unique take on romantic comedies.
Yep,
But I mean,
I agree.
from what I've seen, I don't want to put it super high on the list. I mean, I might recommend it to a select few of people.
Right.
Like I recommended it to you because we were talking about romantic comedies, and I was like,
You're darn right.
and I was like, this is a pretty unique take on it from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And you might like it.
No, and I love science. I'm took a lot of sciences in college, not necessarily like chemistry and all this stuff. The science,
how accurate is it to that?
It's not, dude.
Okay.
Like, I mean, so I like it. If you don't, but like some of their theories, they just talk about theories and they just like do their own thing and they're just messing around and whatever. But like when they do try to take it seriously and you're like, that's not even a good theory or hypothesis, or like that's not all inclusive, like what are you doing? Sometimes the show calls themselves out on that. One of the characters is like, hey yo, like what?
Hello?
That's so biased, you know? And they do it anyways. And I think it's part of the show. It's not a super serious anime for sure,
Mhm.
but it is a different take on love. And you have these two scientists who essentially feel nothing, but then also feel something. And it's so their journey trying to discover and understand how they feel about each other. And I think it's good. Again, C tier. Like it's
I
solid,
agree with that.
but I would not go out of your way to see it unless you're like me, who was like
Yeah,
rom
there's a
com.
select few people like that you would recommend it to for sure. Like that's why I recommend it to you, because you were talking about how we liked rom-coms.
For sure.
So,
And speaking of rom coms, we got Tora Tora. Have you seen this one?
I have.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
I have watched this one.
Good, because I loved this one. Like
Mhm.
the two characters, the way they play off each other is fantastic. They come together at the end. I like their stories come together at the end, and I love it. And it's one of the ones that does make you feel something, and you're in the place where you're like, yo, what are you doing? And then you're in the place of, yes, keep doing that.
Yeah.
And
I really, really enjoyed this one. It's in my top 3 rom-coms.
Okay,
which is basically in my top 5. Or I wouldn't say it's in my top 5 anyway, but I'd say it's probably top 10.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I would recommend it to people who either like rom-coms or trying to get into rom-coms. I think it's just really good.
Yeah.
I also like that there's also options. It's not only those two.
Yeah.
You know, that like there are some people argue that I don't want to get too far into it, but there's sides that you can take, but it's also not like, oh, you have to get this, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying what I'm trying to say right now, but what I'm saying is it's not only those two. It's other people and other characters that are brought into it that are done really well as well.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And it's also not one of those animes where the main character is just flooded with these women and he could just choose. Like it's not
a rom-com that's a harem anime.
Yeah.
Which is it's hard to get around. That's what people like.
It's
know?
refreshing. I hate like I liked it a lot. I think
me too.
I think like the more we talk about it, the more I think it's S tier.
The more we talk about it. I agree, just because it's one of those that like if you don't like rom-coms, that can get you into it for sure. And I think it's just really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a unique. It's just I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say.
I really like it.
It's different enough from Domestic Girlfriend for me to like warrant watching both of them. Like it's not. I can't pick one or the other. Like I think they're both really good. And like I said, the characters, I mean, that's what draws you in to a rom-com is the characters and how they interact with each other. And like, it pulls you in. It pulled me in, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So I might rewatch that pretty soon here.
Me too. It's not a long anime either.
Yeah, it's not too long. I just watched it not too long ago, but hey, here we are. All right. Speaking of not too long, One Piece. It's pretty short. If you haven't seen it.
I mean, if you're just looking for a quick thing to get through, I think One Piece is definitely for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you have half a decade or maybe a full decade. So this is one of the big 3. And the big 3 are just the animes that basically shut out all the other animes. Like that.
Yeah, the whole reason why they were like the big 3 is because other than those 3 animes, Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto, other like animes that were trying to get started were struggling so hard just because of how much these 3 dominated the scene.
And it's
when they were coming
crazy.
out.
So this is another one that has a lot of filler because of the time period it's coming from. But it is really good. It is about pirates, but the world that they live in, like you don't have to like pirates.
The world development in that is one of the greatest in any anime.
I have not finished it. I haven't finished it.
I haven't either. I'm still... Dude, it's funny. I was about to say... I watched about 180 episodes, and I'm not even close to finishing it. I'm like 1/5 of the way. Not even.
Yeah.
I'm pretty... Hold on. I'm gonna see. They're still coming out with that.
You check. Yeah, you check. I was just gonna say, this is not even done. This has been coming out for 20 plus years. Like in the mangas... and I know the author has said he's coming into the final stretch, but like, what does that mean? Like, we got another year, 2, 3. I don't know. It's really good.
Yeah.
Neither of us have finished it.
There are currently 931 episodes.
I'm halfway. I want to say I got to like 450, but I also just started rewatching it, and I'm at like 300. So it's one of the ones where you can skip the filler, but unlike Naruto, you don't have to, because the filler is just better. Some animes you don't even notice that you're watching filler, but I think me personally, I've gotten to the point where I can kind of tell. You're like, and filler is just parts of the anime that don't further the story. They don't develop anything. There's no new anything. Like, you can literally skip it. It means nothing. And One Piece does it in a way, because they can create new islands, and they can stop at these places and, you know, leave them behind and forget they ever happened. And they can do that. And they don't have to do flashbacks, and they don't have to do like the corniness, you know. I think One Piece it's the world and the diversity and the characters, the crew that you get attached to and that you meet along the way. And like, I don't know what the full crew looks like. I have no clue. Like, I got like I said, 450 episodes in. I don't know if they keep adding people. I don't know. But it's another one where like you're rooting for the main character and his underdogginess and like his, you know, journey, and all these people are just along for the ride because they have their own goals too, and it makes it really
that's
nice.
another thing, is that every character has their own goal that's not completely shut out just because they're a side character, you know? Like, I wouldn't even call them a side character.
No, they're all main characters.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that I really want to add is that everyone is like, oh, it gets good at like episode 500 or 600. I'm on episode like 180, and I am, or whatever I'm at, and I am really, really enjoying it. And I'm like, wait, this is what like they say is the bad part of the anime. I'm really excited to keep going.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing with Naruto. Like, once you get further into the story and you start getting to where things are adding up and like loose ends are being tied, and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that guy, and oh, he's his brother, and like, you get into the depth, and the characters get really strong, and you start seeing them face really strong enemies, and you're like, oh my gosh, he has to call upon everything he's learned up until this point to defeat this guy, you know. So it's about pirates who eat devil fruits, who get powers, but the bad thing is that they can't swim after they get their power. They're pirates who can't swim. They would literally die in the water. Like, it is so, who would think of that to make that?
It's really unique, and it's also funny because it's not like they completely avoid that part of the devil fruit. Like, that's something that they like play into the anime as well. Is the fact that like they drown in water. You know, like they can't swim.
Yeah, I think it's S.
I agree.
Even though I haven't finished it,
I haven't.
S.
Yeah.
All right. This next one, Guilty Crown. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. I have not watched it.
Have you seen Code Geass?
I haven't. That's one that is really on my list.
Yeah.
Same as Steins Gate. I need to watch those.
I have a bunch. I have a bunch of like anime on a list that I need to watch. Probably as many as I have here, honestly. But I have not seen Code Geass. I also recently heard that this takes a lot from it, but also does its own thing too. So that's cool. Guilty Crown is the only one on this list that I had no idea what it was when I saw it, when I looked it up. I literally looked up a review to be like, what is this? To talk about it. And I still had no idea. But then I pulled up the opening, the intro, and the music, and I was like, oh, this was a pop. I like this one. And I was telling Luna before we started, I was like, I'm ashamed. Like, I don't remember this one at all. Like, and like, it makes you think like, man, like, he doesn't remember it. Don't waste your time. Like, but the intro was good. I have good memories of that. But I don't know. I don't know what this is about. I have no clue. but it was good. So I want to put it in C or B or D. Like, I don't know. It's obviously it's not good enough to have like a lasting impression, which kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, man. And if it takes I'll put it in C. I'll put it in C. It's definitely maybe it is meh. I don't know. I might move
I've
that
heard
one.
of it. I haven't.
Especially if
watched
they
it.
take from another anime. Like,
Mhm.
I don't necessarily like when they do that, but if they put their own spin on it, like, I just legitimately don't remember it at all. I hope it was a short one, because I can't believe I don't remember it. It's not even like I watched it years ago. I watched it within 2 years. Within the past 2 years. Probably within the past 365 days. Man, I have no clue. So, okay, I'll put it in D.
Okay.
Okay. Gurren Lagann. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
You, Papega. All right. This is one of the ones I got into this one because one of my friends from high school was like, hey, yo, take a break from the Naruto. Watch this. And I was like, bruh, aight. And I loved it. Like, it was really good. It was like A material. And I think it's an older one, so it's hard to go back and watch. But I did try to go back and watch it, and I could not get through it. And I don't remember why. I don't know if it was it's not long. It's 24 episodes, I think. So it's not long. There's a time skip, so it moves quick. Like, I can't remember. I don't know. I need to give it a third chance is what I need to do, because I remember loving it so much. And this has one of the best openings in anime history. Definitely top 3, maybe top number 1. Like, this opening song and this sequence is so good. That is why it has such a lasting impression.
Wait, so what's the name of the anime again?
Gurren Lagann. How do you spell it? There's 2 G's and 2 N's, I think.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely listen to the intro, because it is like, it is so good. And there's a dub version that's really good as well. There's a few of them actually. Like, it is so fantastic. And I think, like, the fact that I loved it in high school before I watched all these animes and then struggled to get through it a second time later on makes me feel like it's not as good as I remember it, and it's just that nostalgia and stuff. So I want to say it's solid, but then also the opening is so good, and Yoko, one of the characters, is like my forever bae. Like, holy cow. She is fantastic. I think it bumps it up to B. From C, it bumps it up to B. The intro and Yoko alone bump it up. And the dub, I remember watching it in dub, and it's got, the main character is voiced by Sasuke, I think. And I enjoyed that because of Naruto. So, all right, we're getting into ones that you have a lot to say about. So,
yeah,
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter. I'm gonna try to keep this short. I'm gonna rant for like 2 minutes. All right,
bring it,
and then I'll be done.
Go for it.
Hunter x Hunter had the potential to be S or S plus 2. All right, it is so good. Yeah, I don't want to say was. It is so good for me. All right, and I truly think, like, I've rewatched the majority of the show, I think 3 times. Right, and it's not a short anime. It's 148 episodes. Right.
Yeah.
It's a long anime. The problem is the last, or the second to last arc, I guess. Right. The pacing of it. Like, okay, the arc itself, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm talking about. It's the Cameihump.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
the arc itself, it's really good, and the character development, but the pacing, literally, like, you'd watch 25 episodes of this one arc, right? And then the dude that narrates the whole series, he'll be like, oh, this has happened in the first 3 seconds. And, like, it brings it back to the table. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? I've seen an entire season here. You know? Like,
yeah.
I really And the thing is, the pacing on the rest of the show was really good. It's just the Chimera Ant arc that knocks it down. For me, it's A tier. All right, it's still really, really good.
Okay.
It's just that arc lasted too long.
Okay. Yeah. And so you you got me to watch this, and you were like, "This is S. Like this is 10 out of 10. Campbell, you have to watch this." And I was like,
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. So I started it, and I was like, "Dude, this is really good. Like what?" And then you get halfway through, and it's like there are multiple arcs in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
You get halfway through, and the show just stops. It just dies. It literally stops because you get onto one arc where the characters are fighting alien bugs who mate with human. I don't know.
They're not aliens,
Homie, I still don't know. They mate with humans. Like what?
There were ants that are like I don't even know. I honestly I don't.
You don't know. You have no clue. I have no clue.
Like they're literally just ants that like super evolve with
But
like
you
the
get-
things they eat or something,
You
right?
get halfway through the anime.
Literally, I
And
think
then you
if
hit this
took
one
out that
arc.
arc, or if they did that in a better time frame, it would be S plus.
Okay,
right?
maybe, but still.
For me at least.
But
what I'm saying
still.
for me.
What are they doing? Like what?
And here's another thing, is I think that their power system is really, really, really intricate and really original and really unique and really good. It's
Mhm.
really hard to understand,
Yeah.
granted,
Yeah.
but I think it's really good. I'd give it about A tier. That's just me though.
Mhm.
You know, I think if they paced the Chimera Ant arc, or if they explained it a bit better and they didn't leave the people that were watching it as confused,
Mm.
I think it would be S tier.
Right.
Maybe S plus if you ended it or in like a good way after that Greed Island arc. I think it would be S plus.
See,
right?
I don't even like. So it's about a main character. It's like Pokemon, but like he sets off from home at a young age to find his dad instead of capture and like collect all the Pokemon. So he's looking for his dad, and he meets people along the way, which is fantastic. The group that you meet has a good dynamic, like they work well together. But again, like they just fall off. Like I feel like you lose two of the characters for most of this
another
show,
thing.
which
They're
sucks.
continuing it, by the way.
Why? You know what they
I
need to do?
think
They
it's
need to
just because
remaster
they
it.
didn't end it properly.
No,
you
yeah,
know?
it was awful. The ending is so bad. Like
Yeah, the ending was
there is
yeah,
like
literally everything before the Chimera Ant arc, super good. Everything after, not
there's
good.
there's a tiny arc at the end about Killua and his family, and that arc is fine. I like that. I think his family is super interesting, and they are all unique, and I love that we got more of his backstory and stuff. But the main character, Gon, meets his dad, and it's so underwhelming.
Yeah,
Like,
it's literally the
what?
entire anime.
This
for,
is
like,
the
over
reason.
100
And then he's
episodes.
so chill. He's like,
He's
"Hey,
so
yo,
chill.
Dad, why'd you leave home?" And he's just like, "I'm here now, buddy." And it's
Yeah,
like,
he's
what?
"I'm here, all right, meet me at the top of this
Like-
tree in like 2 days," and then
Dude.
that was it.
And,
And then
yeah.
like, it's just,
Oh,
like,
it's a really big tree, so like it's really hard to climb
it's called
with
the
no
world tree.
stupid.
Okay,
Okay,
like,
dude, it's dumb. They're like, he
yeah,
climbed
that
it in
ending
2
was
days, but with no
sad.
gear. Yeah, like what? I agree.
Yeah, it's bad.
I agree.
I really don't think they did that well.
There's
I think
there's
even
good
though
aspects.
After that, though, I still want to give it A tier, but I think that's just me. I'd respect your opinion if you
Yeah.
put it into B. I don't know.
Only if I put it into B. That's cute. I would if you watch this. If you watch Hunter x Hunter, do not watch the Chimera Ant arc.
End
okay?
on Greed Island. All right.
Just don't watch it. Skip it. And it is half the. It is a shorter
I think
anime
it's-
because
I'm
of it.
pretty sure it's 50 episodes. I'm gonna look
It's
it up right now.
What the Chimera Ant arc is like 50 plus. It's half the show. I was actually blown away that it was half the show. And you're right. Like the narrator comes on. He's like, 3 seconds have gone by, and we
Yeah,
see
and
our
then-
heroes. Like, and it's like, what, dude?
61 episodes.
Bro, out of 140.
One out of 160.
Bro,
Or no, out of 150.
bro.
Like, oh,
So
it's
bad,
just-
lol. It is.
okay, let's just continue.
It's not good. So that part of it, the F in that is the Cameihump arc. Don't watch it.
Mhm.
It's not redeeming at all. The character development from it is poop. The enemy is kind of cool and like he's kind of dope, but then he just like is a mushy boo and he's just poop.
Yeah,
And then
they build him up,
Yeah.
and then they're like, and then they do something that they could have done from the beginning,
yeah,
and it's just so dumb.
he does.
And then,
He
like,
fights
it
the
just was.
he fights the old guy, which is
He
I
fights like
love
the
that
greatest
fight.
Nen user of all time,
Right.
who perfected it,
Mm.
and then he got domed.
Yeah.
And then just to be like, all right, we gotta kill this guy off. They were like, and then there's this super powerful bomb that kills literally everything after the fact. It was just bad. I hated it.
Okay,
I
I'm because you're here. I think this is a D, but because you're here, I'll put it in C. It's solid, and it's hot. It's higher if you don't watch the Cameihump arc, but including
watch the
all of it,
Good.
like because it pulls you in, and
I-
you're rooting for these characters.
I also think that I'm putting it so high just because it was one of my first animes.
Yeah,
And like I
for sure.
I don't know. I have good memories of it. You know?
I also felt like the Nen and everything was introduced. It felt like they needed to have it so that I felt like a late addition. And when I watched
think they
it,
added it at a good time because that
No,
was
yeah, I
like the
think-
point where they actually became hunters, and like that was a
True.
big step.
but like it almost came out of nowhere. Like we didn't know it was a
that's
thing
fair.
until
The
they
way that
learned
they
it.
introduced it.
Right. Whereas in like Pokemon, Pokemon are everywhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
in Naruto, there's friggin' ninjas everywhere. Like this is a ninja world. In One Piece, there are pirates everywhere. They have been doing this for years. You get to Hunter x Hunter, and it's like you don't hear about Nen until the characters do, and it's like cool, but like, why are they just now learning about it? They want to be hunters. Allah? Like, shouldn't they be like, when is it gonna awaken or whatever? Like, how do I practice this? Like, bruh. I don't know. Alright, next. Banana Fish.
Banana Fish is another one that I placed really, really high.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd give it S or S plus for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think the pacing in the middle, and near the end as well wasn't wonderful. But the ending, I think, is the thing that made me feel emotion more than anything in any anime ever.
That is some high praise. Let me tell you.
And I'm not kidding. Literally, like, I remember I've been in call with someone who who's watching the last episode, and like they're like, oh, this ending isn't great.
Yeah.
And then it's literally the last 5 minutes. in like 5 minutes of something, I'm still recovering.
I remember that.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I think personally I'd give it about A tier. It's not an anime for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think the character development is good. It's just that anime is in my top 3 just because of how much it touched me emotionally. You know? Like, it's one of the few animes ever that have genuinely made me like cry, like ugly cry. You know?
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm halfway through it. I didn't finish it. And I think it just, like you said in the middle, just kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, it's slow.
I think that's what happened. I just kind of fell off.
Mhm.
It's not something I wouldn't want to finish because it's about this guy who, it's kind of about like gangsters, right?
Yeah.
Like mobsters,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
in like the shady-ish aspect, and it's I think it's pretty good. But you're saying the ending is fantabulous, so
Mhm.
I
It's-
haven't seen
yeah.
it, so it's hard to say. You're saying A. I think because
I'm saying A or B tier.
yeah, I think
for
because
sure.
I fell off of it, I'm gonna say B.
Yeah, it's in my top 3. Like I
Yeah.
don't think it's a really good I mean I think it's a really good anime. I don't think it's like one of the best animes, but I just my enjoyment of it and just what it did, I think is why it's so high on my list. But I mean, I
Right.
think B tier is a good spot for what the anime is.
Yeah.
So
All right, next, Scum's Wish. I don't think
I
you've
have
seen
not
this.
seen
Yeah. So, part of the rom-com. This, I remember just it being lackluster. Like, and it's hard to live up to a lot of these other rom-coms that do it so well. I mean, 2 of them are an S tier, which is like, bruh. So,
Mhm.
but Scum's Wish was like it was really not. It was different. I'll give it that. It's about these 2 kids who each are in high school, who each fell in love, that forbidden love. They fall in love with one of their teachers. They both fall in love with different teachers. And instead of pursuing their teachers because they know that's not realistic, they settle with each other. But there's not, like, and then it's like, is there a connection or is there not? And it's just, I mean, I can see why people like it. I can also see why people wouldn't. So it's not a don't watch, but it's in my opinion. It's definitely not something I would recommend. It's not one of the ones I would recommend. But if you like the genre, if you think like the forbidden love and everything is fascinating and interesting to watch, then this gives you a different take, which is nice and refreshing. But like, at what cost? Like, a lot of the emotion is pulled out of it because they're settling essentially. And does it end that way? I'm not gonna say. But yeah. All right, this is a really good one. This is
a really
so
good
good.
one.
High School of the Dead. No, I don't want to say High School DxD or whatever the other one is because I've never seen that one. High School of the Dead. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Send me the photo.
On it.
Sorry.
Took me by surprise. Yeah, here you go. This photo I'm sending you was my background on my phone for a while, because I liked it so much. And what sucks is that this is an anime that was halted because I think something happened to the writer. I think he got sick or passed away or something. So there will never be a finish to this. I think there's only 1 or 2 seasons, maybe. But it is really good. It's High School of the Dead. It's about zombies. I think they're zombies. I'm pretty sure it's zombies. High School of the Dead. But the action scenes are really good. The characters are really good. There's a lot of sexual content, but nothing like overwhelming. The jokes are good, and but I feel like it's realistic too, because there's a point pretty early on where they're zombies and now they have to survive, and they run into a guy. There's a boy and a girl. They're on a motorcycle, whatever. They stop for gas. There's a bigger guy there, and he's like, "Hey, yo, give me your girl." And it's like, that's so true. Like, there would be scummy people out there who are like prioritizing other things that they shouldn't be doing at all, let alone prioritizing in a zombie apocalypse. Like, and it's refreshing because you don't see that. You don't see that in like Zombieland. You don't see that in The Walking Dead. I mean, sort of, kind of, but like not this way. And the fact that they can still squeeze humor into it, I thought was really good. So I really enjoyed this one. It sucks that you haven't seen it. You need to watch it.
Okay, good to know.
Good to know for sure. So, man, I want to say A because it is really good, but the fact that it's just open-ended was really disappointing to me, and that's nobody's fault, but I'm going to put it in B because of that, because I wish that there was more, but I can also see it's maybe not for everybody. So, 7 Deadly Sins. You've seen this one.
I have seen it. I have not seen the last season or like what they've done recently, and I'm not going to.
I can't remember which season I left off on. I've seen probably everything but this new season, unless I saw that too. I have no clue.
Yeah, I think me too as well. Yeah.
So this is a pretty interesting world where the 7 Deadly Sins, they're talking about, like, there's these defenders, I guess, of like this land, and basically they have to fight demons. Is it demons, right?
Yeah, demons.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's the seven deadly sins, so the 7 demons. Mm-hmm. And I think the cast is pretty cool. I think there's some interesting characters with some interesting powers,
Hmm.
and I think there's a good bit of comedy, which is nice amongst the action. I think it's pretty good, but it's
I
also
have strong opinions on this anime.
okay. I was gonna say it's
So
also not something I'm looking like I'm not waiting for the next season to come out. I'll watch it like if I have the time.
my big problem with this anime is that other than the main character or like the a few main characters, like okay, you remember that dude that like threw a spear like miles and with like he was like
Yeah,
introduced as super strong
yeah.
and he was super well done and then he did nothing. He like went under Meliodas and like did all that stuff and did nothing for the
Mm,
rest of and I was so mad
yeah,
because he was introduced super well and it was super cool. Like he threw this I don't know. And I really don't like that and they did it with a few characters and then apparently that this last season was terrible.
oh boy.
Like I'm gonna end it where it's somewhat good for me.
Okay,
I don't really wanna talk about how it's going to be on your list,
yeah,
but I personally I would give this like C.
yeah. I
Just because I mean
I
it's
can see
still a
that.
pretty good anime. I just have a few problems with it.
Yeah, I think that there's even more problems than we're listing.
Hmm.
And that they do focus on like the main crew a lot and not so much like everything else or everyone else or the land or the people or whatever. I mean, they
Hmm.
do a little bit because of the one girl is like a princess, so they focus a little bit. But I can agree with C tier. But because this is C tier, there's another one on here that is going to be below it. And I don't know how you feel about that, but we'll see when we get to it. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I I like this one. It was pretty good for me.
This is good. This is one of those ones that it takes you into like an RPG world where like it's a video game essentially.
Hmm.
It's not a video game world, but it is like a video game where they literally go into a dungeon and loot it for money. Like they
Hmm.
kill monsters and stuff, and I think it's pretty cool. Are they continuing with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one season came out pretty recently and I'm pretty sure they're gonna work on a season 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I think they did season 2 pretty well as well. Like they brought new aspects into it.
mhm. Yeah, and there's definitely room to grow,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty excited for what it's going to look like, but I want to say B tier because I think that there are other like there's a lot of animes that do this type of thing.
Hmm.
These guys do it pretty well. It's
Yeah,
it's really good. Like it's worth watching for sure.
yeah,
But I want to say that there's another one that may do it a little better.
yeah. I
So
agree with B tier. I think they did it. I think it was a good anime. It's just it wasn't very unique. Like it wasn't very like captivating and like it doesn't outstand from other
I'm
anime.
hoping that they continue like with the uniqueness that they're
Yeah, me
kind of
too.
taking with the main character, and they do branch it off because it does feel like pretty middle of the road when it comes to this type of world. Um,
Hmm.
there's definitely another one that does it a little bit better. So B tier is probably fine.
Yeah,
This
I
one,
agree.
I know you haven't seen this one because I remember asking you about it. Waiting in the Summer.
I've not seen this one though.
Yeah, kind of like a rom com. It's this is about an alien who kind of gets stuck on Earth. She's kind of looking for something. She ends up rooming with this kid in high school who lives with his older sister. His older sister goes away for work or college or whatever. So this girl moves in, and it's just like happenstance. But it was cute. That's about all I can say about this one. Like it's cute. It's eh. I think it's a pretty solid D tier. I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it. I wish I hadn't. It's short enough to where like I don't regret it and like don't not watch it. But it was cute, and I like that. A big part of this is they're trying to like make a movie, like an actual movie for their school or whatever, and that's like what they do, how they spend most of their time, and I enjoyed that because I am someone who likes movies and TV shows, and directing has always been like super interesting to me, and I wish I had the skills and talent to really dive deeper into that, but I don't. So here we are. So but it's good. The characters are good. It's cute. The story's cute. So next is, what the heck is this one? Steins Gate. Haha.
Steins Gate.
Man, I couldn't see because they cut off the main character. I should have picked better pictures. Steins Gate is really good. It's at least B tier for me. But I think
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that it is like in the majority of people's like top anime.
Yeah, it is. If you like time travel, it is a must watch because I don't think there's any other show that has done time travel this well. And because there's so much we don't know about time travel. There's so much that we only theorize, and to see how they did it, like, it just feels real. It feels like this could have happened. And the relationships and like the characters that you have as your main crew are really good, especially the scientist. I forget his name. I watched this a long time ago, but he is super cool. He's super entertaining, and he's kind of wacky because he's a scientist, man. He's like, he doesn't care about like social norms and stuff. Like, he'll just do what he wants because he needs to do it. Like, so I think it's really good. I think it's pretty amazing. I think they did time travel really well. It's fairly short. I think it's a must watch for a lot of people. I actually might put this in S tier.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's one of those animes that like literally everybody has seen, and I have not heard of someone not liking Steins Gate. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say anything about it except for so.
All right. Next.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu. I am currently watching the first season. First season's all that's out right now. What did I say? Episode 8? Like,
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And it has been, I started it days ago. So it's not hooked me like other animes have. But
I think the start is kind of slow.
Yeah.
I get that.
For sure.
But I think from mid until the end, especially the end, like the last like arc, like the last full arc, and then the few episodes to end the series after are so good. Like, I want to put it in S tier, but it's your list and you haven't seen it and you've only watched the part that's not wonderful.
True.
It's also only the first season, so right. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it in S tier. I'd say I'd put it in A tier.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites. I think it's definitely like in that quote unquote new gen big three, just because of how good it is and how successful it's been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like overhype it. It's really really good, and I super enjoyed it, especially the ending of it, or at least of the ending of the first season. But it's only been one season, so I can't put it too high because I don't know where they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
But I think that they set themselves up well, and I'm really excited for where it's going, and I want to put it really high. But
yeah.
That's just me.
I can see that for sure because, I mean, I'm 8 episodes in, but the
beginning is slow, but it's also they introduce it to you in a way that's kind of necessary for like later on because you understand it more. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm in the part where they're really like starting to teach like what everything means and what exactly you're going to be facing and stuff. I don't even know if it feels slow. So the fact that you're saying that is like nice, but because I feel like it's diving pretty deep into the world and like the powers and stuff, and I almost feel like it's a little too fast, where we're seeing very strong people right out the gate. And like it's like,
another reason
where's this
why
gonna
they
go?
do that is because they want to really show how impactful Gojo is.
Yeah.
Just by being there.
Yeah.
You know, that is like he is. They really go into that more in depth like later on, so I won't say too much about it.
Yeah.
But I think the intro, it's kind of harder to watch, but it's also really necessary because they touch on it later and they really show And like if I didn't watch the beginning, I'd be so lost right now. But because of what they did,
Yeah.
I think that it's just really good. And like mid to late of it is just really, really good. It's one of like I started watching it, like I've been watching it as the episodes have been coming out, and from the episodes that have been coming out, I have enjoyed it more than any of like the previous or any of like the new-ish animes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Well,
don't know. I'd put it pretty high.
that's good to
I'd give
hear.
it like A tier for me. So.
It's a little. I mean, it's interesting because you get into this world where there's like this magic ish, and you're like they're like Ghostbusters, man. They go and they like hunt these like not what are they? Curses?
They're curses.
Curses, but like they're like monsters, man. And I think that's cool. And the one of the guys referred to it as a monster, and I was like, yeah, dude, like let's go. So it's curses, like it's like haunted places. I'm not really sure yet, but I can definitely see how this would lead to bigger and better things, especially because you get to see how strong their teacher is. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
Also,
And it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, he's just gonna be able to 1v solo their entire universe. You know, it's like he's really strong, but there's I mean, I don't want to touch on it too much.
Yeah.
Like we've already been talking for a bit about it, but yeah.
I get like Kakashi vibes from him. Like people know his name.
Dude, people have been saying that this is basically just Naruto, like Kakashi, but reverse mask, like Sasuke, but less edgy. And then like Naruto,
mask. Yeah.
And then Sakura, but useful. You know. Like,
I mean, the girl is the only one I'm not like sold on yet. Like I hope that she gets better.
I get that. Throughout the whole season, I was like that, and then the last 2 episodes.
Okay, good.
Get to learn about her and like her abilities a lot more, and it's like, oh, dude, I can't wait till you watch the rest of it because the ending is super good of the season.
It does feel like Naruto, and I was just messaging you about it. I was like, hey yo, so I'm at the part where Naruto's doing this, and Kakashi just showed him like, and I said that without like, cause like I don't know these kids' names yet, and I said that without thinking about it, but. The fact you just mentioned that, like, it's so true. You got the kid who's like the prodigy, who's really good, and just who's like the only expert out of the 3 younglings. Then you got the teacher who's like well known.
Right now, that's what it shows is he's the only expert. But later, like especially, okay, I keep bringing it to this, but the way that they ended the season and like what they did, it was so good.
I'm hopeful. I'll stick it in A. But yeah, you get the guy who has like this hidden power within him, and like he can't control it yet, but like you almost feel like he's going to, like, yeah. But all right, that hypes me up. I'm gonna finish it this weekend. I told you that I'm gonna finish it this weekend. I'm gonna do that. So because I mean I have to now. I love Naruto, so there's no reason not to love this one. All right, Kekiguri. Have you seen this one?
The name definitely rings a bell. I'm not noticing that.
It's the one with the girls at the school of like gambling.
Oh yeah, I've seen a bit of it. I never finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it.
I think like this is another one where like I have no interest. Like it's just like haiku, like volleyball, schmollyball, you know. Then you watch it, and you're like volleyball, you know. And this is the same thing. Like, it's like gambling, schmambling, you know? Like, I don't care. But then you watch it, and it's like, yo, these people are messed up. Like, this is cracked. Like, this is their lives. This is what determines status at this school is how good you are at gambling, at bluffing, at all. Like, what? Like, this is...
And it's also another thing that I really liked is that they didn't limit it to just, like, poker and cards.
Oh, yeah.
Other things as well.
Yeah,
and I think if they didn't do that, then the show would be subpar because it was sort of just the same thing.
I agree.
But like even just with the bit that I watched, they really diversified it, and I really enjoyed that.
I agree. Like it's not it comes down to like bets too. Like they just straight up bet. They're like, yo, I bet you your status. Like what? Like it is. I like it. I mean, it's an all girls school, so what's not to like? But it's
dude. Okay,
I think it's really interesting. What's up?
What's the main character's name?
I ain't got no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember what she looks like. I'm being honest. I want to say she's a redhead. Wait, what?
It's a guy. The main character's a dude.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's not even an all-girls school, is it?
No, it's
I'm just remembering all girls.
yeah, because that's basically what it is.
You shut up. It's A tier. It's A tier because like
That's good.
it's amazing. Like
It
again,
would
like
still
it's super
be good if
unique.
it was only cards and they diversified it, so it's
Yeah.
really good.
But like the fact that this is their lives, like this is their status, like they're and they bet with money and stuff too. They're like daddy's money, like bro, what? Like it's
Yeah, like it's
cool.
basically like high school anime on steroids.
Yeah.
Because like it's literally okay. I don't know how
It's
much
crazy though. It's crazy. I did not think I would like it, and again I watched it before people hyped it because I saw it on Netflix. I was like, I'll give it a shot. Watched it. I was like, yo, this is cracked, and it was one I got hooked. So A tier for sure. Fairy Tail. Have you seen it?
I have seen a bit of it. Kinda lost me.
Fantastic. So have I. D tier. Awful. Could not get through it. I wish I could because the one girl is really cool, and then the one guy is pretty cool. But that's it.
And
like
that one girl and that one guy and
Yeah.
that one cat, and that one thing. Yeah, like that's a problem with
No.
the anime.
There's a lot of people in like their like the magic and everything like it reminds me a lot of Seven Deadly Sins, but not as good. So if Seven Deadly Sins is C, then Fairy Tail is D, and I'm sure Fairy Tail gets better. I got decently far, I think.
I got same here, honestly. Like what happened was I watched it. I wasn't super into it. I was like, okay, I'll watch it because I'm not watching anything else right now. And then what happened was I wasn't able to keep watching because like it was on a different site or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just drop it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Because like you get the one girl, the redhead, she's like the strong, like she's just like brute strong. She's the knight. She's like she's really cool. But like, I mean, honestly, wait, where is it? Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? That's got the woman knight as well, right? She did it better. She did it way better. But I do like that one girl, and the main character is pretty cool in Fairy Tail. He's like kind of wacky, kind of crazy, kind of reminds me of Naruto. Like, kind of looks like Naruto, but wait a second. Alternate reality? No. All right.
No.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I have not watched this.
All right. Well, one of the ones I grew up with for sure. The cards were dope. Like that was the thing to do at camp. Like it was fantastical. The show is pretty good, although it is much longer than I realized because I rewatched it not too long ago. But it just keeps going. Like it must be like Pokemon where they just keep going to like keep the cards selling. Like I don't know. But the fact like even OG Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not even accurate to the game. And I know Pokemon's not either, but where they literally play the card game in the show. Like Pokemon's they're not walking around with their 60 card decks, all right? They're going catching real animals. And like, so what if Pikachu uses Iron Tail and he like can't learn it in game, which I think he can. That's a bad example. Anyways, who cares if Pikachu takes out Onix with lightning? Like, we're not fact checking that, man. We're there for the emotion and for the battle and for the epicness. But when you're like summoning cards that don't even do what the cards say, like I remember watching someone on YouTube point out all the things wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh, and it just tarnished my whole view of this show. Not that I had a great fond memory of it anyways, but yeah, I think the original stuff is pretty good, even just as a show. But the later stuff, like what? So see, it's kind of solid. If you like the game, you might like the show. You might not though because of how it is. So there's that. Next is, what is this one? Tensen Slime. Tensy Slime. This is one time I reincarnated as a slime.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, so this is one where it's just like that other one where it's kind of like a video game. But I think that this one did it a little bit better. It's pretty unique, and it's not Like, it throws you right in to the fact that this guy is dead and he is reincarnated as a slime. And there are
Exactly.
multiple times. If you couldn't get that from the title, you know now. There are multiple times in this show where I was pleasantly surprised about where they took it, because you could have taken this several ways, like, but they didn't. Like this.
I think what they did well is, so it's one of those animes where the main character is super OP, right?
Yeah.
But I think they did that in a good way where they kept it interesting,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, because the problem with a lot of those animes is it's not interesting. It's the same thing. But I think that they diversified it, and the characters that they introduced were like really good. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's,
I liked it.
you got this OP character who can basically do whatever he wants in this new world because of how OP he is.
Yeah, he got the super lucky start where he spawned next to that being.
Yeah,
But
that, and as he's dying in the real world, he's like all these things that are like being programmed to where like he's just cracked out of his mind hole, and instead of having him just like go and conquer, he sets up a safe place for all these different races. And I love that, like, when he names people, they get stronger because they now have a name and they're just like
yeah, I think that's
loyal.
Cool thing.
Yeah. I thought it was really unique. Again, I think it's better than How to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. Even though I like that one, I think it's really good. I think that this one
They just did it
was a little better. Yeah. And I mean, I'm excited to see where they go with it, because again, like, there were literally several places where I was like, huh, they could have done this, but they did this, and I'm okay with it. Cowboy Bebop.
I haven't seen it, but I've not heard a single bad thing about it, and it is on my list to watch within the next 3 that I watch.
Okay. Wow. Next 3. Nice. He's a bounty hunter in space, I think. I've seen a few episodes, like half, and it's pretty good. Older art style, but like the art style is not bad. I think it's a pretty unique one, actually. I liked it, but also I fell off of it. But I think I fell off of it because it's not like it's like a crime show, right? Where like every crime, like you start the show and there's a bad guy and they do this, and then you have to figure out who it is or whatever. Like every episode is brand new. And Golden Boy was like that, 6 episodes, but like that's lighthearted, it's fun, it's airy, This has some humor. It has pretty good action as well. There is some like overall that carries into the next episode, but there's not a lot. And I think for the time, it was probably amazing. But I fell off of it. I'm going to put it in C tier because I haven't finished it. But maybe the ending's crazy.
Controversial. But I mean, yeah. I haven't
controversial.
It, so I don't want to.
I think that's more controversial. You have not even given it a shot. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, you make a very good point.
Yeah. All right. Sword Art Online. You have not seen it, have you?
I have.
Oh, snap!
So I watched the first season.
Okay.
I loved it.
Okay.
It was really, really good.
Okay.
Watched the second season.
Okay.
Watched 2 episodes.
Okay.
And I
sounds about right. So
I literally watched 2 episodes of the second season, and then I was just like, you know what? It's not really for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I think they did a really good job in the. Okay, sorry. Take it away.
This is an anime. This is the one that started. I give it props for that, because I think it is the one that started the like video game anime aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You literally dive into a VR game where your character is like based off you, and like it's just this game, but something happens, and it happens in the first episode, so they get stuck in the game and they have to get out or die. And if they die in the game, they die in real life. And I think that is super fantastic and unique. And it was just this hacker who took it over on like launch day, and so there's so many people in it and nobody knows what to do. There's no guides, they have no contact with the outside world. Like, it's fantastic. These people go in like comas because they're just stuck in this game.
Yeah.
And I loved it. The first half of the first season is
Yeah,
amazing.
I
It
think
is
the
in
first
this
season
world.
they did so well. I think they did super, super, super good with it. It's just if we don't include the second season and onwards, I would give this like an S tier because it
I agree.
really gave it
I agree.
like it really opened the way to like video game anime and just like all of that stuff. It was just super good.
Yeah.
And then second season, they started it with like elves and hentai. I mean, not and incest. It was just bad. It just wasn't good.
Listen,
They did it dirty, is what I'm trying to
there's
say. All
nothing,
right, that's
nothing.
I mean, I misspoke there, but I'm not even kidding. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
don't know.
No, I
I think
mean,
if you're not including for like second season onwards, I'd give it S. But if not, I'm gonna give it like a B tier for me.
what is hilarious is that that's not even the second season. I don't think. Was
Yeah,
that the
that's like
second season?
yeah.
No, because the second season was the gun game.
Oh, so the elves was okay. Well, then the
I
first
think.
part was long. So half of one season is really good.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I think unless I'm wrong, Tyler's watching. He'll correct us. And this, it is the half of the. It's like the first 12 episodes are fantastic, and I watched this on recommendation. He was like, "Hey, yo, bro, you gotta watch this. It is so good. I love it. I love the games. I love everything." I was like, "Yes." And I start watching. I'm hooked. I'm like, "Oh, this is S tier, baby!" Like, I'm so excited to see where this goes. And like, so they have to reach the 100th floor of this tower, this battle tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the dynamic. They have separated the masses. The cowards who won't leave spawn or the spawn village because it's too dangerous, they're afraid to die. You got the crusaders or whatever, the frontline people who are making progress in the game for everybody else. I love that. You got the police who, again, they like are afraid to do whatever, but they want a little bit of power. They kind of abuse it, and then you get like the support staff and everything, and there's different factions, and they get different loot and everything, and it's just you're following this main character who goes kind of rogue, kind of solo. He's just kind of doing his own thing, and they could have taken it in so many different directions, and I wish they had, because as soon as they started skipping floors, I knew, because they skipped
That's a big problem
multiple floors, and I'm like, at first I was like, this is kind of dope. Like, we're skipping right to where like our buddy is, something's happening and we gotta see it. I like this because you're not slowing down the anime because of slow floors or anything. But they're skipping multiple floors.
Yeah, at first it's like, oh, they're skipping floors, and then it's like, oh, they're skipping floors.
Yeah. And then they, spoilers, like halfway through, it's not about the video game anymore. Gee, I wonder why. And it's like they the person who took over the game in the first place retconned it and is like, hey, yo, come to the 100th floor. And then he's like, psych, I'll meet you at 80, like, or whatever. And I'm like, what? Garbage, bro. So,
and then another thing, do you remember Klein?
He sounds super familiar.
Did him. So he was the guy that he met in the beginning, like the main character that he met.
Oh yeah, his bud.
They did him so dirty.
Yeah.
They just like they introduced him and he was like, this dude is sick. I like him.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, you know what? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Remember how they're like, we're gonna set out, we're gonna do this, bro. We're gonna do this. I'll see you tomorrow. And they go to log off and they can't, and then it's just like, peace. Like, I never met you. What?
It was so
scuffed.
So mad.
Scuffed.
I think they could have taken that show in so many different directions, and they took it on the worst one.
But there's hope because I have intel that they are releasing a all different anime all about Sword Art Online, the game, only about Sword Art Online. So like we're only gonna get the first half, but like bettered. So like I'm excited because. Yeah, it's called Sword Art Online. They're in it for 12 episodes. The next 28 are in different games. Like, and it kind of relates. Like, but I got. Oh, I want to say I almost finished the third season, and I know I need to because it's gonna get better. I just need to go back to it. But
yeah. Oh man,
it kind of sucks. So yeah, S tier, brought it down to A, brought it down to B, maybe C. I think it's solid. Like, it's okay. It might be.
I'd give it C. I would give it D or F, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Except the first part of the first season is really well done, and I gotta give it props for being like the first video game anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the first biggest one. Like
Yeah,
it's
the first like actual
I
good
feel
one.
like it
Or no,
started.
I shouldn't say good because there are other good ones, but the
Yeah,
first like big one that brought people into
I
it.
feel like it started a trend of having these like
Yeah.
otherworldly or reincarnations and stuff like that, where like it
Mhm.
is feels video gamey, But I mean, yeah, not to say that the other arcs are bad, they're just not as good, and I hate that because it's a letdown. You get something that's fantastic, and then you just take two steps backwards. You're like, what happened? Why'd we do
Well,
that?
yeah.
All right, Cannon Busters. Pretty sure this is a Netflix one.
Yeah, I've seen this one.
Oh
Or I've
yeah,
seen what was on and what was on what yeah, I mean like what was on during the time that I was there.
what'd you think?
I liked it.
Yeah, that was pretty
Um
good.
it was a while ago that I watched it, so I don't really like super remember it.
Same.
But from what I saw, I mean, I liked it. I mean like I enjoyed it. I was gonna keep watching, but I ran out of episodes, so I don't
Oh,
know. And then
okay.
after that, I forgot to retouch on it. But yeah, I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a world. Um, I got like Goran Lagann vibes a little bit, where like a little bit, where he relies on his car as like a mech or whatever. Like it kind of does a lot of stuff, and it's about this guy who can't die, right?
Uh, Something like that.
Something.
Honestly, I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's something like that, where like he's hunted because of the challenge or whatever, and he's just super lucky and all this stuff, and he gets hooked up with these characters, and they are like along the way, and it's like it's pretty good. I'm putting in C. It's solid. Like it's all
Mhm.
right. It's
Yeah, it's
yeah,
good. Like, I mean, I'd watch it. I mean,
yeah.
that's not for everything. Like, it's the same thing. Like Science File Night, so I try to prove it. Like,
Mm,
I'd recommend it to a select few people,
yeah.
but it was alright. It was good.
I can see that. Blood of Zeus.
I have not seen this one.
Netflix. It is, I mean, pretty unique art style, and I was pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of gore, a lot of like really good action scenes, and it is about who is it about? It's about one of the demigods. I don't think it's Hercules, um, but maybe it is. Shoot, I don't think it is, and it's really good. Like literally pleasantly surprised, where I thought this was going to be hot garbage, but I clicked it because the mythology is pretty interesting, pretty cool, and there's not honestly not a lot of good content on it, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And it's I don't even know if it's really an anime or if it's on the border like if it's a cartoon either, but I'm pretty sure Netflix promoted it as an anime. But there's a lot of blood, a lot of really good action scenes, and you get to see a lot of like the like down to earth of like what the people think of the gods and everything, and how they're living, and also the gods too. You get to see their politics and how they feel about each other and stuff too. I think it's pretty good. If you like Greek mythology, you might love it. So I'm putting it in B tier. Demon Slayer. I finished it, first season.
Oh, what do you think of the ending and stuff? You still don't like it?
Overhyped.
I agree. It was overhyped. I liked it. I think it was good, but I definitely don't think it deserved the hype that it got.
I mean, I can see the potential. Like it's this kid, his family gets destroyed by demons, but then like they're demons, right? It's Demon Slayer. They have to be demons. And they get slaughtered, right? And so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a demon hunter. I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do boo 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 boo." And it just turns out that he's like this prodigy. Like, oh my gosh, we're so lucky. And he's carrying around his. For some reason, if you get killed or like almost killed by a demon, you just turn into one. It's like a zombie thing or something,
I
or
think
maybe
that was no. I think that was a one-time thing, just because
where he
of
turned her on purpose, like
yeah.
vampire-y. Like I did not get demon vibes from it, so but whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I mean, cool. Like, and then I felt like it was kind of rushed, where he like, because they he travels with his sister, and she can't see day. Like it's super vampire-y to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they need blood, right? Like this is Vampire Slayer, not demons. Anyways, maybe it was lost in translation. But yeah, I mean, I see potential. I see a world. I think it's pretty cool. I like that they have the like 10 or whatever they are, or what are they, like 9 or 8, whatever, of like the best of the best or whatever's. And I like that because now he has something to reach for and to aim for and to be part of the best. Like, but we met them all pretty early, and I don't know. Like, I kind of wish some of it. Like, we don't know what all they do, but
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna expand on it more.
yeah, yeah.
And like, and there's like this movie that came out that hasn't come out for the States yet. Although that's coming out soon. I'm pretty sure like it might have actually already come out.
Is it
like,
canon or?
Yeah, canon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like they're that's not the end of the series. Like,
No,
they're,
yeah,
they're
for
touching
sure.
on it more. But like the it's like the train movie,
Mm.
you know. But I mean, I liked it personally. I wouldn't give it more than an A tier. I think the animation was really really nice. With,
People
like,
say that, but like I didn't notice anything out. I didn't notice anything
with, like, the sword
crazy.
styles and stuff.
I mean, not really.
And like the blood art, like that was crazy. Like that was really good. I don't know. I personally enjoyed it, but I definitely agree that it was overhyped.
I think it was super overhyped, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, it's your list, man.
B. It's first season.
Yeah,
it's hard to
agree.
say.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. It's kind of hard to like grade an anime on the first season.
Yeah.
When you're putting it up against stuff like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, where the entire anime has come out, and like, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Well, I think B is a good tier to put it in.
I think it was good.
I think it was good.
It was good. I think it has a lot of potential. I'm glad that they're going to continue and build off it. I'm glad that it's hyped because, like, that means they're definitely going to continue it. Like, I hate when there's good shows that get canceled because there's no audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
this
what
definitely
sucks.
has an audience, especially in Japan. It has. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Oh boy.
I'm pretty sure it has it's like one of the highest grossing animes in the entire. Yeah. Highest.
Dang. I mean, I love the characters. I do.
Yeah.
I love. Well, not so much the main character. I don't really care about him. But his sister's pretty cool. I like that she's like the first, like who's not bloodthirsty to everybody and everything. I like the kid who wears the hog head on his head or whatever. I think he's pretty dope. He's just like the berserker, like, and then you got the coward who's just like secretly powerful for some reason. Like I love him because he's screaming, but then he just like passes out and does his thing, and it's like what? Hey bud. Like who does that? Like what is that? But yeah, I'm hoping that it continues. We like met the villain, like the bad guy already, and like I don't know. Again, it's one of the ones where I see the hype and the world building is there, and it could go in a lot of places. And yeah, we just have the first season, so it's kind of hard to say.
So I looked it up, and what I can find right now is that the movie is the highest grossing anime movie ever. Spirited Away, less than by a good amount. Your Name, less than.
Wow.
Howl's Moving Castle, less than.
Wow.
It is the highest grossing anime movie. But I mean, I haven't seen the movie. Apparently the movie is like really good.
Is there a dollar amount there or?
Yeah. So Spirited Away number 2 is 395 million. And Demon Slayer is 423 million.
That's a lot for an anime movie.
Yeah, for an anime movie, that is super.
That's interesting that it's canon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Good for them.
Yeah, it's like the next part of the series is a movie. It's pretty original what they did with it. Anyways, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't
mean,
really
that's pretty fantastic though to think about. Like these companies who need funding to make a movie, put it in theaters, put it on a site that you have to pay extra for. Like people who like the show will pay that extra, and then it
Yeah.
just supports the show and the making of it. I don't know. All right, Konosuba. Have you seen it?
I have not, but I know of it.
Does this have an English translation name that I'm missing?
I don't know, but everyone calls it Konosuba.
Okay, good. I think it does. I think it's another long one. Like, I tried to pick up girls in a dungeon. It's like, one time I just called it Girls in a Dungeon, and someone's like, what? I was like, oh, is it wrong to try? Like, but Konosuba, I like this one. It's another, like, reincarnation one where he comes back in a different world, got a power. I love that he flipped it on its head where it's like, you can have one thing to go into this world with. What do you want? And he's like, homie, I want you. Let's go. It's just like, wait, what? Yeet! Like, have you seen this?
I have not.
No, you need to.
Okay, I mean, it's definitely on my watch list. But I mean, I've also seen like clips, and the animation I've seen is very, very good.
I like it a lot. There's like, it's good magic and stuff. Like, it's a good world to be in, and the main character struggles. And you get to see that struggle, which is so different than a lot of these other ones, where he just fits in and he's just like, yeah, like like the slime one where he's just OP. Like, what? No, this guy's like, what are we gonna do for food? Like, it's great. There's a lot of humor, and it's in a place where it's getting, like, from what is out right now, it's getting hype. Like, he's like, things are happening, and I'm excited. And he's going into this world with a goal, and it's an end goal that's like not achievable right now or in the near future. And I love that because it's something that we're working towards, but you can see the progress, and that's pretty awesome. So, is it better than Demon Slayer? Is it better than Your Lie in April? Probably. I feel like this list, like, there's a divide, like, between, like, the really well, I mean, that's what's gonna happen with a list, but I feel like there's a lot here that might need to be up, because I feel like there's a lot here. I don't know though.
Yeah, I feel like looking back at the list now, like what's in A tier and stuff.
Now that we have stuff in places, yeah. No, but I agree with all of the. I agree with all of A.
Everything in A tier. I think that there's stuff in B tier that can be moved up
or down.
Or down, yeah. I don't know. I mean, a good amount of the stuff in B tier I haven't seen, so I can't really.
True.
Or not a good amount, but like a few that I'm seeing.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know. I mean, I kind of like where it's at. I kind of want to move Your Lie in April up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but I mean, that also just might be me because it was like my gateway romance, and like I really enjoyed it with the animation and the music and everything. I think it was really well done. But I mean, yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's finish this out, and then we'll revise at the end, because I think I do want to move some stuff. Okay. Assassination Classroom.
I have seen a bit of it. I have not finished it.
Okay. It's kind of long, kind of worth it. The character development is good for like one character. It's about this classroom that is assigned to kill their teacher because their teacher is an alien. And the character development is good for the main character, also for the teacher, which is cool. And then there's some minor character development with the rest of the class. It's one of the animes. It's like Hero Academia, where you have an entire class that you're introduced to, and there's lots of personalities. And I truly believe that is hard to do and hard to balance. But I think that they did it pretty well. But I don't think it's as good as My Hero. So,
yeah.
I mean, I would say C tier.
I agree with that, honestly.
I wouldn't say it's one of the ones to not watch or to not go out of your way to watch. I think if you like My Hero, you might like this as well. Just keep in mind it's different. They don't have quirks. They don't have abilities, really.
Yeah, I think it's also one that's like pretty unique as an anime.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I watched it.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I agree with C2 though. I think that's a good place to put it.
Yeah. All right. Ace of Diamond.
I
This is so
super enjoyed
easy.
this.
Yeah, this is so easy for me.
It, it's just really good. It's like a Haikyuu where it's just one of those sports animes that gets you super involved in the characters,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just the main character. They touch on every character on the team, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so good.
Not only
And
that, characters on other teams.
exactly, that's another thing. It's like it broadens. It's just so good, and I can't wait for them to expand on it.
Yep.
If they do, I mean, I'm hoping they do because there's a lot of places where this needs to go. But I really, really enjoy this.
It is S tier for me. It
I
is
agree.
above Haikyuu. Haikyuu got me into the sports, but Ace of Diamond sold me. Holy cow! And I have a lot of
It's a
passion for
long anime, or
baseball.
yeah, sorry, go on.
I grew up playing baseball, so like but this is like, I mean, what I was playing was t-ball compared to what they're playing in high school. What? Like this is absolutely, and you know, it's maybe it's not all real, all right, but like who watches these for the
It's
realism?
actually pretty realistic.
I
Like, or
mean,
not, okay,
dude,
no, no,
some of
the stuff that they do,
the
I
ball
agree,
control on
it's
some of
very
these pitchers. Come on,
yeah.
come on. What they're doing with
Yeah,
the ball is not possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. But
but I mean, what I'm saying is like what they're doing, not super possible, but the base of like baseball in Japan is super super big. I'm pretty sure it's number 2 to US.
I can see that. I think baseball as a sport is growing across the whole world, but definitely in the Asian countries where, I mean, enough so that we're taking players from them to play here. Like that is dope. But
Yeah,
this show, holy cow,
it's really really really
it
good.
is so good. Like,
I think if they didn't continue it, I don't think the ending. I mean, there wasn't an ending. That's
yeah,
how I know they're continuing it is because they haven't ended it yet.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
hopefully it continues. Like, but you know, I feel like it's one that's slept on though because everybody talks about Haikyuu and like, yeah,
Yeah.
volleyball was kind of like sleeper and like nobody cared about it until this show, and then you know you get this team together and these underdogs and this but baseball, like people
Yeah, and here's
people
another
sleep on
thing.
baseball too.
Yeah, and here's another thing is that like it's not like super underdoggy, but it's also not like a super powerful team.
Yeah,
It's a combination
yeah,
where they used to be super powerful, but they're now trying to get back to that point.
right.
You know, and there's other teams that they're playing against. Like and then another thing that I really enjoyed. Oh, actually, I can't say that because it's a big spoiler. Okay, I won't say it.
Okay, though.
But I really enjoyed this.
But I mean, so the fact that they are like actually progressing through the years like pretty quickly, I like that. Like we're at a place where a whole bunch of people who are on the team are not on the team anymore because they were third years and now they're going off to college and college ball. And that's dope. Like because you get the new characters and it's like so much room to grow. And there's a lot of new characters that are really cool. And obviously they have to fill the team, but they're not going to fill the team with new characters. They're freshmen. So they pull from the old like the characters who you saw, but maybe didn't play, maybe who sat on the bench, whatever. Like now they get to play because the third years are gone. And it's cool. And I like it because they're, the main characters are competing for a position. Versus in Haikyuu, like it's very much like everybody has their own position, and you know maybe we'll sub in and out here and there when you're tired, when whatever. Like
Yeah, I think the only thing that like that it sort of comes close to is um him like competing for an ace, but at the same time
yeah,
he also then finds his own role on the team, you know?
yeah, for
But with
sure.
this it's literally like play or get cut, and I think it really gets you more involved with
Yeah,
the characters on the team.
yep, for sure. There's way more like that, like edgier seat because you're like he might not even get to play. He might be swapped out for how bad he's doing. You know, any of these people. And I like that he is an underdog where he's coming from a school that's like not well known. And he has a different style, which I think is fantastic. And he's going up
Yeah.
against a kid who's like top of the region.
Yeah, he's like this super super good
It's like Naruto and Sasuke, man.
prodigy is what it's
Yeah.
yeah,
No wonder I love it.
yeah, I mean, and I think that the character development in that show is it's so good.
Yeah.
It's just really really good.
Yep. So I think it is a step above Haikyuu. So S tier for show. Maybe I'm a little biased on that, but if you like Haikyuu, watch this one. I mean,
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah, cray. Food Wars. Have you seen it?
I have seen the majority of it. I haven't gotten
Cool.
to see the rest of it because I watched to however many episodes there were, and then I started watching other ones, and I haven't gotten
See,
back to see the episodes.
this is your problem. This is why I waited to watch season 4 Attack on Titan until it was all out, because I can't do the week by week, especially with a show like Attack on Titan. I
really
can't do
enjoy
it.
the week by week.
No, I can't do
I
it.
like it because it really gets you involved, and like every single week you're like, oh man, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? And I really enjoyed it.
But for show, okay, Attack on Titan might be a little different. But for shows like this, where like it's week by week, whatever,
oh yeah,
homie, I'm gonna forget about it. Like, I love Food Wars. Again, this is one of those ones that I can't think of any other anime that's about cooking and like gourmet cooking. Like, this is so cool, and the fact that they have Food Wars where they battle it out, I'm like, this is awesome.
It's not just about cooking too. It's like they bring it to another aspect.
Yeah.
And I also find like the animation and like and all of that stuff, like it brings comedy to it. You know, it's not just like a gourmet cooking. It's like a good twist on it. You know,
For sure.
I liked it. I think it was really original actually.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed this one.
I mean, it's like they're at the top high school for cooking. Like, I like that, you know, the main character comes from, you know, his family is, you know, in the cooking scene as well. He comes from like his mom and pop shop diner where he's cooking and everything, and then he comes into this school of like prestigiousness and like makes a name for himself, or tries to, and I think that's awesome. And also, they have like the Council of 10. They have these 10 who are the best chefs in the school, and it's just, you have something to aim for, right? And he says right from the get-go, he's like, hey, yo, I'm about to be number 1, and you're like, okay, dude, like, and you know, but you're rooting for him at the same time. You're like, he's likable, but he's also kind of an idiot. It's awesome. But like the growth, and you get to see like him learn, and I love that he is constantly learning from his mistakes and applying it, because like he will lose a battle, and then in the next one he's like, oh yeah, so here's what I learned from that loss and made it even better. And like, it's like, what? And like, dude, like, I love cooking, I love eating food, but like, this is totally different. Like, this is on another level, and it's cool. And again, it's just like Your Lie in April, where they made the music like you could see it, and you could see the impact. And because I mean, dude, it's hard. You eat some soup and you're like, this is really good. Like, there's none of that. There's none of like, let me melt the palate. Like, no, they're like, woo, like, and I love that. Like, I mean, I will say that when they eat the food and it's really good, the clothes are literally blown off these people. They cover everything, but it's hilarious. Like, I love that.
That's what I like too. Is like there's a really good comedy aspect to it, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I don't know if it's S tier or not.
I don't know if it's S tier. I think A tier.
I think A is a pretty solid place for it. I mean, I think there's 4 seasons out right now, and it's really good. I was hooked through the whole thing. There was not a moment where I was like, gotta finish this up, you know?
Yeah.
All right. My Hero Academia. Overhyped. Just kidding.
It's overhyped. Okay, I don't know if it's overhyped. I really enjoyed it. Okay, what I'm gonna say right now, let's just take out the fan base real quick.
Yes,
like,
100%. Just the anime.
We're only
100%
focusing on the anime. I really enjoyed it. I think that what they're doing with it as well is super good. Like there are some parts of it that are like and I mean there's some parts that are a little bit slow, but I also just I really like it. I think it's like one of those animes where it's like it's a high school anime, but it's also like an action anime. It's really good. And
well, cause
like there's some comedy. I mean not comedy. There's some romance, but but it's not like
I don't even think it's romance. It's just like tension.
Yeah,
which is good. Like, I like that. I mean, but it's in a world where there's quirks, where these people have superpowers, and you might have a good one or you might have a sucky one. You might not have one at all. Like, and that's normal and that's okay. And like, so they're at this superhero high school to be superheroes, and I like that. I also like the villains. I think the villains
Yeah,
are
I think
done
the villains
really
are
well.
like top tier.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean, that's what's gonna make the superhero. That's what's gonna make the superhero look good, shine, and that rivalry. But then there's also rivalry within the superheroes, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that they did really well is it's not just Deku against the villains. It's Deku and like then there's like partnerships
Hmm.
and there's feuds and everything and I think I think that they did it really well and I'm really excited and like season 5 episode 1 aired like a week ago.
Really?
Uh and yeah, and I I like where it's going. All
Okay.
right. Um yeah, I think that if they keep going on the direction that they're going, it's gonna be like really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think it is right now pretty good. Like I it's one of my favorites.
It's
I'd say top.
I feel like it's one that a lot of people can get into pretty easily.
Yeah.
I also feel like there's a lot, like when I was watching it, I felt like a lot of stuff related or reminded me of Naruto, where
Hmm.
like you have a big cast, there's a lot of groups, a lot of teenagers, different powers, different whatever, different strengths, different weaknesses, they have to work together.
Yeah.
You got the main kid against the kid who's the prodigy, who they are their rivalry, but they hate each other, but they don't, but they do, but they, you got the chief who like takes a interest in the kid who sucks, and like all this stuff. And it's good. It's good. I
Hmm.
think that there's a healthy balance of action and comedy and character development, and I feel like they didn't rush it, which is nice, because you get the story in a way that you get to see like their powers manifest. And
Yeah.
instead of a time gap or something like that taking that away, you get to see them work on those things and become better.
Yeah.
And you also get to see some of the better superheroes fade out, but like they're not gone in an instant, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
I think that
also,
the pacing of it was very, very good.
yeah,
I think they did a good job with that.
I agree. Except for the fourth season, there was like a
Oh
big
yeah,
arc in
with like
that was hot
mhm.
garbage,
I
filler,
other than that
trash.
though, I think it was pretty, pretty
Yeah,
good.
I agree. And maybe I'm the only one who didn't like that.
It's like a reversed version of Sword Art Online where it's like really good except for that one little bit, but like Sword Art Online is like pretty bad except for that one little
Yeah,
bit which is pretty good, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I think this is a lot of people's gateway to anime, especially the younger
Mhm.
generation who may not have, grown up with a lot of these other ones. But I mean, tough to say. I also like that there's like that ranking system. Like there's
Yeah.
the power scaling. Like a lot of shows do it, but then a lot of shows do it really well. Like
Mhm.
Dragon Ball was like literally power levels where like they had a number. And like that's
Mhm.
fine, but like I much prefer like that ranking system of like there's the Council of 10, here's the number 1 hero, here's the number 14 hero. Like you get to tell where people are at by their rank and by their power and everything and what they can do. And I like that. It's easy to understand, it's easy to follow. You know who's good, you know who sucks, whatever. And again, it's a goal to aim for. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's S. It could
I don't
be
know if it's
S.
I think if they do season 5 well, it'll definitely be S.
Yeah, because season
Uh
4 ended. Whew, like it is getting
yeah, the ending
saucy.
of season was 4, like the last
Yeah.
2 episodes. Oh
Yes.
my god,
It
they were
is getting to
so
a
good.
place where like now that we have the core, like that we know what we need to know now. We have the characters, we have the class, we have the everything. Now we're starting to see the world. Now we're starting to
Yeah.
see the bigger picture in a lot of this stuff and other heroes and stuff too. So I think it could be S. I think it probably might be S, but
I think S tier is a good spot. Um, I mean, I think S if season 5 is good. I think A is also a good spot for it. I don't know. I think
I don't know.
S or A, I think would fit well in either, honestly.
I'll put it in S.
All right.
But it's hard because Naruto's an S. But I think it has potential. I think it has potential to be as grandioso as Naruto. Yeah. So, all right, One Punch Man.
I really enjoy One Punch Man.
Hello.
Am I going? Okay.
What?
I really enjoyed One Punch Man.
Have you seen both seasons?
I have,
okay.
And I really think that they lived up to the hype of season 1 with season 2. I enjoyed season 2 just as much.
Okay, so I've only seen season 1, and it was ages ago when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I need to rewatch and then watch season 2 for sure.
For sure. I think they did a really, really good job with season 2.
It took a while to come out though, but hey, if they did it, they did it. That's awesome. So One Punch Man is about this guy who defeats most things in one punch, and I mean, he's a superhero, and it's in a world where there's good guys and bad guys, and people have powers and stuff, or they're created or manifested, and some people take advantage of that and stuff. And I like that this guy is just an ordinary guy who decides to do something with his life, and he becomes a superhero, and he's just fantastic and overpowered, and it's awesome. But you hear One Punch Man, you're like, how good could that be? He's just gonna punch everything, and they die. That's it. What's the point? If I already know that, then what's the point of watching it?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do that. But they do that. But it's interesting and it's entertaining.
Another one of those things where it's like how I got reincarnated as a slime, where it's a super OP main character, but it's not boring. Yeah. And I think they did a really good job with that. And I think the fight scenes are really good.
Yeah.
And the anime is really, really good.
Yeah.
And the characters are really good. I think it's just all around a really, really good anime.
Yeah, I agree. S or A? Hard to say.
I think I want to put it... Okay, I want to put it above some of the things in A, but also below some of the things in A. I don't know if I would give it... I don't know.
What would you put it below in A?
I don't think I... Oh, what would I put it below in A?
Yeah.
I would... Personally, I think I would put it below Haikyuu. I really enjoyed Haikyuu. But it's also that there's only been 2 seasons of One Punch Man, and there's 5 seasons of Haikyuu.
Yeah.
For sure. So I don't know. I think I don't know, actually. Now that I think about it, season 2 was just as good as season 1, if not better, and season 1 was super good. And the world building,
it's super unique too.
That's another thing.
What?
And the characters are all so good, and the comedy aspect of it. There's one dude that's just like a dog, and then they touch on it in season 2 more, and you start to love this one dude. It's really good. I think S tier.
Okay.
But that's
we'll go with S. We can change it at the end.
We can change it at the end. Yeah.
All right. Rent a Girlfriend. Have you seen it?
I haven't. No, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
You're killing me, Smalls. All right. Rent a Girlfriend. About this kid who wants to look cool, so he goes on this app and he hires a girlfriend. And there are several things that pop up that make it so he has to keep renting her. So, and it's a rom-com. It's and then I'm so excited for season 2. I think they do it really well, and I'm excited to see where the story goes, because what a concept to rent a girlfriend. But then he gets caught up with family, and he's like, oh no, and then he gets caught up with friends, and he's like, oh no, and he has to maintain his image, and and then he starts liking the girl, and then who wouldn't, because she's perfect, rent a girlfriend. And I think it's a really cool concept. But I like their dynamic together, because the main character is someone who probably would need to rent a girlfriend, which is relatable. And no, but it's fun, and it's pretty lighthearted, but also it keeps you on the edge of your seat, because you start to root for things, and and I like too that she's not the only girl in the picture, which is kind of fun, kind of interesting, and you kind of get to see like you just follow his mindset and like what he's thinking and all these things and whatnot, and I feel like that's super interesting, and I think that they did it really well, and I'm super excited for season 2. Is it as good as Domestic Girlfriend and Toradora? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I would still recommend these two over Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Question.
What's up?
Have you seen season 2 of Dr. Stone yet? Or are you waiting for the dub to come out?
Is there season 2?
Yeah, season 2 is completely done now.
Okay, so these are the things that you don't tell me.
I told you
instead,
already, and you're like, I'm waiting for the dub.
I was joking. No, you said that about something else. I swear it was something else.
It might have been, but I've told you on multiple occasions that season 2 is done now.
No, I think I said. All right. Maybe it was Dr. Stone. So I've only seen the first season. Apparently, you've seen the second season. Is it good?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know if it's as good as season 1.
No,
but,
that's not what I
here's
want
the thing.
hear.
Here's the thing. It's okay. I still think it's really, really good, and it is definitely worth watching. It's just season 2. It's just season 1 of Dr. Stone was so good, right? Like it was so good.
You're breaking
and I'm
my
not
heart.
saying that season 2 is bad. I'm still saying that it's really good.
Right.
It's just
hard to follow
not better
up.
than season 1.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing with a lot of anime. Is that what?
Do they keep up with the comedy? And
Yes,
like the visual style, I adore that. I love that.
I think they did that really, really well.
Oh man, I might watch that tonight. Oh my gosh, I might watch that.
Don't you dare, Camel!
Miss Click. I accidentally dropped it in C tier. My bad. Yeah, I think this. Well, before you just shattered my dreams, this was S tier.
Bad.
It's
still
S tier.
Really good. Okay, name one anime that like had a really good season 1 that season 2 was just as good at. That's what I thought.
Listen,
right?
listen. We're just like I said. We're
still saying it's really good, and they did a really good job with it. It's not disappointing in the slightest. Okay.
All right, listen,
dude. You have to agree. Season 1 was so good. How were they?
I know. When you told me to watch it, I was like, all right, whatever. I'll give it a shot. 24 episodes. Let's do it. I did. I was hooked. Hooked. It's one of the ones that just pulls you in.
Season 2 is still gonna pull you in.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I'll stay up all night. I mean, maybe I did say I'll wait for the dub. I enjoyed the dub a lot. I also enjoyed the dub of Ace of Diamond. I don't know if I said that. There's a lot of dubs that I enjoyed of these. I think that sub and dub is no longer a thing. I think, especially with the seasons now too, like we're shortening the episodes. We can get more actors, more of the good actors. I would love to be a voice actor, but like there's more to go around now, and I think that's awesome. And I love hearing a good voice, in a good character who I love from a different show, play someone else in a different show, as long as it's unique enough, So, because I don't want to think of Sasuke whenever I see this kid, But Dr. Stone was fantastic. I loved it. I thought that the story was super unique, and I ended up telling a coworker about this show. Except I left out the fact that it was an anime, and she seemed to like it. So that's gonna tell you something. But I in the like comedy style too, where they'll joke and stuff, but they like go super exaggerated with the facial expressions.
And the dude that's like the builder of the village. I love him. Like, dude, there's like this scene. I forgot if it was season 1 or season 2 where he's like looking over a blueprint, kind of confused, and then all of a sudden the muscles come out. And
that's season 1.
So good.
That's season 1. He like takes off his cloak and he's just like this jack dwarf, and they're like, "Jeez, dude, like what?" And he's like, "I've been building for 60 years," and it's like, holy! And he's just like master at everything. I love it. But it's also like, a really good, cool story, and
Mhm.
I'm excited to see where it
And
goes because of
and
what is happening.
antagonist.
Yep,
Oh
yep,
my
yep, yep, yep,
god,
yep, yep. I'm excited.
so
I'm
good.
excited.
Like, oh my god, and like the thing is, you can really relate to the antagonist too.
Hmm.
Like, it's not like it's a super bad dude that like, oh, I want to kill
Yeah,
everyone. Like he has a vision for the world that like, I mean, if you think about it, like it makes sense.
right.
And but like, I think they did a lot of things in that show that was super super good,
I agree.
or they've been doing and
This
they are continuing to do.
this is one of the shows that has a great first season that you just know this is going to be a good show.
Yeah.
A lot of these other ones, it's like, I could see where they go with it. There's a lot of places they have to go first. It's not quite there yet. Dr. Stone
Good
puts
from the
you
get.
into it, throws you into it, and you see, like, like, this is not going to be 700 episodes. This is not going to be 400 episodes. This is going to be a good story. I'm hoping that it ends up as good as Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I hope that it's one of the ones that I can someday move to S plus and be like, anybody should watch this. Get past his celery looking hair and watch the show because it's cool. All right, celery hair is dope.
I swear that's like.
I don't
Whenever
care if it
I
looks like an
talk about
onion.
it, that's the only thing that people say about
That
it.
makes me
that's
so
bad is the
mad.
hair.
Like, what?
And it's the only thing.
So
But
it's
it also makes his character like
even
if he was,
better.
like, a super like hot dude that
Yeah.
knew everything. Like it wouldn't be good. But like this, he's
I
kind
think
of like
that-
a funky
dude,
looking dude.
I
who's,
think
like,
he
super
looks
smart.
awesome with like an onion on his
I
head.
like the
I
character.
love
don't know
it.
what the heck other people are
At
talking
first,
about.
it's a little jarring. But so is all these other animes, man. Women with pink
Yeah.
hair, we normalized that 20 years ago. Like, what? And this man can't have green tips? Like, bruh. So, listen, it's an anime 5,000 years in the future. Everybody has turned to stone, and he pops out. I don't know if it's willingness. I don't know what it was. He stayed alive mentally, and he cracked the stone. He comes out. He
Yeah.
for months, he's a scientist. He studies his way. He finds a way to crack the stone of his best bud, and he does it. And I love their dynamic. I think they're a fantastic duo. And so the goal is to revive humanity. They revive someone who is powerful, very strong, helps him against the lions, the overgrown animals, everything like that. And then he becomes the antagonist. And so now you have altering worldviews. You got one person who wants to do this, the other person wants to do this. And then, there's all these like fun things along the way with like, oh, we can do alchemy. Oh, we can do chemistry. And the thing is, the main character is fantastically brilliant. And if there's one person in this new world who can revive the world that was lost, he can.
Mhm.
And I think that's so unique and so cool and so awesome.
Dude, if you like, it's just the more you learn about him, the more you love him. The things that he can do for I think you're right. It was like 5,000 years or something.
Yeah.
Where he counted every single second.
Yeah. He knew how much time had passed. Bruh. What?
Like, it's crazy. And he like thought about when he needed to wake up. He's like, I can't wake up in winter or I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I can't survive in
everything
winter.
is so well done,
So
especially with this
dope.
character. I really love it.
So dope. But
We've been talking about Dr.
for
Stone
sure.
like,
Yeah, I know. But it's well deserved. Okay, prison
seriously.
school. There's another
I have
like there's a lot of like sexual, stuff. So it's about this prison in this school. So it is literally a prison school. There is a school, and in the middle is a prison that they put bad kids. So I think there's one season of this, and unfortunately, I think it was a funding thing. But this is another one where like the visuals complement the humor, and I love it, and it's funny, and it's about this group of kids who get caught trying to look at the girls in their shower room or whatever. And so they get put in prison because they can't I don't know if it's they can't pin it on them or what, but something happens where they can't kick them out of the school. So they get sent to this prison. In this prison, they have to work. They have to do all these things. And it's run by students at the school, these women at the school. And so now you see where the sexual bit comes in, because you got the guys and then the girls are in control, and they're, stuff like that. But it doesn't really show anything. It's just like the tension and everything is there. I mean, but it's really cool because it's about them surviving this prison school and how they get out of it. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty unique. It's not for everyone. And so with that, I want to say it's about the same as most of the ones in C. So I can see why it didn't get the funding for a second season, but there was also a big following that wanted that second season. So it kind of sucks because, like, you're not going to get best of both worlds there. I mean, it was good. I wouldn't mind a second season, but I'm also not like, if it came out tonight, I wouldn't watch it tonight, So it's also not something I would recommend to everybody. So C tier, it's pretty solid. Some pretty good jokes. Listen. Yeah. So this this is good. I feel like it's
I really enjoyed it. I haven't finished it yet, but from what I've seen, which is the majority of it, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really, really unique character.
Yep.
I
agree.
Yeah, and oh my god, and like the last arc that I watched was so good. And like the characters are so good. I really, really enjoyed the show.
It's about a kid who gets, his father is like Lord of the Land, and he basically sacrifices his kid to get blessings on the land and prosperity and everything. But the kid survives because the demons who he sacrifices it to leave something behind or whatever. So the kid survives just barely. So he gets all these prosthetics, and like, I'm talking,
he is like 90% prosthetics.
Skin
if not
gone, arms gone, eyes gone, heart gone, lungs gone. Like, it's whack. All right. So like, this kid should not, he shouldn't be alive, but in this world, he survives and he gets these limbs. And so he goes on a quest. He's like, I'm gonna get my body back. And so he has to kill the demons that took the body parts. Super original. And so along the way, it's this deaf, blind, like this guy who is accompanied by this girl, and she's much younger than him. She basically tags along because she's got nowhere else to be, and he protected her one time, whatever, something like that. And it's really good because you get his development and his arc over him attempting to kill these demons and attempting to get his body parts back. And not only that, but figure out things with his family and stuff, because his dad did that to him for prosperity, but his mom was torn apart, So it's really, I think it's really good. It's worth watching. It reminds me nothing about content, but it reminds me of Vinland Saga, where it's short. I waited to watch the ending because I was afraid of how it was going to end. So for me, I would put it up there with Vinland Saga because it's super unique.
From what I've seen, I really, really enjoyed it. I think A tier is a good place to put it.
The intro, so good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. One of the best intros, top 10 for sure. It's right up there. And Vinland Saga and this one, were both like overhyped, but like to the point where it's deserved. Like, and I like that these like one-off like little series that they hit the limelight just right and they take off because they deserve it. Like, stories like this should get the publicity. So, but yeah, A tier.
Yeah,
you gotta finish it. What is wrong with you?
I gotta finish it? Yeah, I do.
All right.
There's so much stuff that I'm watching right now, man.
I know, because you're doing the weekly crap. All right, anyways.
That's like kind of over. Anyways.
I'm in the middle of what is it? Black Clover and Jujutsu. So I'm right there with you.
There's not a lot there. You're 8 episodes in. There's only 16 left.
Well,
Black
now
Clover
I got Dr. Stone queued up.
No. Finish Jujutsu first, okay?
Wow.
I'm telling you, finish
You're
Jujutsu first,
killing me,
and then watch
Smalls.
other stuff.
All right. Monster. Have you heard of it?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
This is
So
gonna
this
be
is
an all
one. This is one that I feel like is slept on. It's really good. It's about this doctor, this surgeon, who ends up save. It's kind of like Doctor Strange, where like he's this like renowned surgeon, but he has to. I think he has to make a choice or something. Something in the beginning, which sets him on this path and of like saving a life for like one life for another or something. He was there to save this person, but he wasn't there to save that person, and he had to choose which one to save, kind of thing. So sets him on this path, and it's about these twins who are super involved with him, but he doesn't really know. Like it's about his discovery of them, and it's like crimey, like there's like that detective aspect, and he just like can't continue as a doctor until he has answers and all this stuff. And I think it's really unique, but also I watched this a long time ago, so I'm trying to remember exactly what happened and how it happened, but I do remember it did slow down a little bit and I had to take a break from it. I think it's only like 60 episodes, but I feel like it's pretty good. It's solid. I want to say B tier. It's something I would have to rewatch to fully like put it up there if it was deserving, but I know that it's one that a lot of people haven't heard of, but it is really good. At least the majority of it is. And then the ending's pretty good too. So last but not
Alrighty.
least,
Speaking of endings,
the ending that we will never get because it's so far in the future, it's ridiculous.
okay, but here's the thing. I also respect that. If they ruined the ending, I'd be more mad than how I am waiting for the ending here.
I agree.
Like, what I want to say right now, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit me with it.
So, it's not my favorite. It's in my top 3. But what I do want to say is that I think it is one of the greatest animes ever created, and if they do the ending right, it will be the greatest. And I just think everything about it. Here's the thing, and I was gonna put it in in S plus, but Camel made a very good point right before we started recording. This,
yes,
right?
sir.
So I think literally everything, down to the sound design, the intros, the outros, the characters, the animation, everything they did so close to perfectly. I don't think I would change a single thing about this show. But the big problem is it is very gory, and that means a lot of people can't watch it, right? That's why I would definitely put it in S tier. There's not a single thing about it I'd change except for the time that the next episode is coming out.
Stupid jerks.
Yeah, I mean, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I think it gets hate because it's popular. I really think that that's kind of the only reason, and because of the gore as well. But like, I wouldn't change anything. It's just so good.
The funny story behind Attack on Titan, for me anyways, is I heard good things about it before this year, and I tried to watch it, could not get into it.
Yeah, first season's kind of slow.
I tried it. I'm talking first episode. Couldn't get into it. 5 minutes in, I was like, nah, trash. Can't get into it. Tried again. 10, 15 minutes in. I stopped it again. Third time. I'm hooked. What changed? I don't know. But it's really good. It is 100% going to be up there for everybody. I don't think that there's any possible way that they can fumble this last season. And so season 4,
if they rushed it, if people wanted them to
exactly
finish it, then they could have.
But they're not doing that, which is nice. And I agree. I like that a lot. So Attack on Titan season 4 was broken up into 2 parts. So we have the first part that is what just finished up. Second part is going to start either like New Year's time, 2021, or spring of 2022. So either way, it's going to wrap up spring or summer 2022. So we have a long ways to wait, and it sucks because of the cliffhanger. Because it's in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
it's not
big cliffhanger.
It's not like the other seasons, because I was fine leaving it as season 3 because it wasn't a cliffhanger. It was and it wasn't, and I was okay. And I was like, that's good. That's a good place to stop it for now. Let's pick this up later. And then Luna's like, hey, yo, season 4's done. You said you'd watch it. And I'm like, let's go. And I'm like, wait, but I haven't seen anything. Like, usually there's like spoilers and stuff, and like I have to avoid it and whatnot. I'm like, okay.
Dude, for me, avoiding spoilers was so hard.
It was not hard for me.
That's another thing, is I was like, another reason why I was watching the episodes weekly is because if I didn't, I'd get spoiled as to what happened in each episode. Like,
yeah. So that's what's gonna be me in the second part of season 4. I don't think there's any way around the hype that is going to be every single week around this show. This show has attracted so many people. This has a massive following. It's crazy. And I struggle to get into the show, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the art style or the Titans or what. So it's this civilization that is stuck inside their hundreds of thousands of feet, not hundreds of thousands of feet tall walls, because of these things called Titans that roam outside the walls. And the Titans eat people, and they look like just fat, just massive, just naked almost people, and they just eat humans, and they're just brain dead. And so you have this civilization that's trying to survive, and then all heck breaks loose, and the wall comes down, and then they have to fight. And so they have scouts, but they don't, like, the scouts are not, it's not a full-fledged military. They have a scout division to scout the land outside the walls. So they struggle to take back, like, they don't take back the wall, the section of wall that is broken. And it's this super good story that has depth through every single moment. You're introduced to this kid. You see what happens to his family. You see this happen. You see that happen. This cookie crumb is left. This cookie crumb is left. You meet this kid. This is left. This is left. This moves on to that, and that ties into that. And it's so well written. And like you said, the animation is really good. It's a little gory. There's a lot of blood. The animation looks different as well, especially the Titans. They're super ugly. So
yeah,
maybe,
but I mean,
I think that was part of why I couldn't get into it.
Ugly,
no,
like,
yeah,
it wouldn't be as captivating. It wouldn't be as.
They're legitimately scary looking because of how ugly they are, and that's like, terrifying.
And here's another thing in season 4 when they, like, because I hadn't seen Titans in a long time. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, obviously there's gonna be Titans. But when I saw that scene with the Titans again, it scared me.
It is scary because it is like zombies, but times 100 in size and in threat.
And another thing that I really love is how, like, there was so, like, many aspects of what they were up against, and like then you when you look back, and like, I'm trying not to spoil things here, but like, because in the beginning it's Titans, and then it's like abnormals, and then it's Titan shifters, and then like that famous line that is so, like, when you look back at it, it's so good, is when Erwin, right, when he goes up to Eren and he says, like, what do you think our enemies are here, right?
Yeah.
And at the time you're like, what is he talking about? You know?
Papega.
And you look back and it's like, yo, dude, and just the characters and everything. And I think my favorite part about it is the sound design. Yeah. Like that Titan theme, and just the intros. It's just everything.
The music is fantastic.
Well done. Everything is so good.
I have not listened to just like epic music like that since Skyrim.
Yeah.
and that like a 2 hour just like pop it on, play some Overwatch, whatever. Like it is just epic music, and like you're saying, these intros and stuff, they get you pumped because there's no, like, it is not slow. It is fast paced. There is lots of action. The stakes are high, and they remain high. I hated in The Walking Dead when the zombies didn't become the threat. That was stupid. People became the threat. They dodged zombies in the forest with sticks and survived. And I was like, that's so dumb. At no point are these Titans not a threat. They are constantly, and they sneak up on you. They do all these things, and they're just mindless. And it's terrifying because you put yourself in these shoes. I can't imagine. Yeah. So,
and then just like the main Titan theme, you listen to maybe 10 seconds of it, and it makes you like, I don't even know, like that thing, that the feeling that it makes you feel is unlike anything else. Like, it's just, oh my god, everything is so, it's definitely just one of the greats of all time.
For sure. When you watch this, you feel like you're in it with them, which is insane because this is not real, you know? But it does. It feels like they cover everything to where like it feels real. And I love that. And I can't believe it took me so long to watch this show because it is for sure one of the best of all time. And it's not super long. There's 75 episodes out right now. So there's going to be a total of what, 90? Like, if that?
I'm pretty sure it's going to end with either 90 or 100 episodes.
Hopefully it's 100. But
yeah.
give me 10 more weeks. What? Yeah. This is obviously S tier. I mean, the fact that it took me a little bit to get into it kind of sucks and kind of shows, like you were saying, that I don't think you could recommend this to anyone. I mean, I
think that's the only reason why it's not S plus, is because it isn't for everyone. The gore is a lot to handle.
Yeah. I think S plus is in a tier of its own. Full Metal would just be in S tier with everything else. But because it's a gateway, because it's something that every single person you could mention it to watch, you know, I think Attack on Titan does a lot of things really, really well, but it's not as well-rounded as Brotherhood. So
yeah.
Okay. So
that was long.
That's the list. Do you? I want to move stuff, but I don't know what I want to move. I think I want to use F tier. I want to
put Your Lie in April higher.
I think I want to use F tier.
I mean, what do you want to put in F tier?
I think all of D tier.
I mean, I agree with Fairy Tail, but I haven't seen like any of the others. So.
I mean, Scum's Wish, lackluster. This, not much happened. It was cute. This, I don't remember. Okay, I'm sorry if this is so good. I just don't remember any of it. How? I don't know. Okay, so that frees up D. We can move some of these other ones. Dragon Ball Z. Yeet. Just kidding. Beastars.
You're about to make a bunch of people angry.
They're already angry. It's in C.
Yeah, in C tier.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Gotta go. Shoot.
We don't need to put a bunch of things in D tier.
No, but I can feel it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not as good. Beastars is good, but it's only one season. And we're talking about these other shows that have one season that are fantastic. You can see a line with. I think Beastars did, like, it did a good job, but I don't even care if there's a second season, you know? Like, the first season was good. I think it made a good statement and it had a good story, but I don't know where they're going to go from there. I don't have any anticipation for it. Prison School, it sucks that it got canceled, but I think because of that it moves down. Also, it's definitely not for everybody. The art style, the like punishment aspect and stuff, probably not for everybody. Golden Time, solid, but probably could be moved down as well. I'm not going to move it though. Yeah, Seven Deadly Sins I think is fine. I think that Science Fell in Love and I Tried to Prove It would probably be D tier as well with these ones, because it can be hard to watch because they throw around a lot of science, not jargon, but science talk, and it can be kind of dry and like, you know. From there, I think we move, Your Lie in April.
I keep saying it, but yeah, I think we should put Your Lie
Yeah.
in April up. I think it's above
Also-
average, and B is like average.
I feel like B and C are pretty average. B being like slightly above average. S I think is in a good spot. I don't think there's
Yeah, I
anything
think
else I would
with
move to
everything in
S.
S is deserves to be an S.
I think with everything here, Pokemon would be moved.
Yeah.
Because we have the likes of Death Note, Avatar, Vinland Saga. We got Food Wars, Rent a Girlfriend, Konosuba, Dororo. Like,
yeah, and like Pokemon is good. It's the same thing with like with Yu-Gi-Oh, where the things that came after it, like the game, like the games and the franchise itself, like that's where Pokemon like is.
Yeah.
You know, not the anime itself.
right.
So I think that's why it's in really A tier. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's good. But
If we're talking like Pokemon, because I did kind of throw Yu-Gi-Oh under the bus talking about all of Yu-Gi-Oh. If we're talking about all of Pokemon, I'm moving it to C as well. I think I watched all of Dragon Ball. I have not seen all of Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's still going. But again, if we're talking the red and blue and stuff and the movies, then it would go back up to B. So, but if we're including all of the seasons and stuff, then it goes down again. Because it's not as good. It's not as good as Dragon Ball. It's not as good as some of these other shows. Like, it's more so aimed towards kids than most of these. So
yeah,
yikes. Took a fall, didn't it? Okay. Death Note, Vinland Saga, Last Airbender, Haiku, Golden Boy, Jujutsu, what is this one?
Kakegurui.
Yeah, that one. I'm feeling these ones are all really solid. These are like amazing animes.
Yeah.
Then we get into I really hope that Black Clover gets better. I'm pretty early in, but there's like 160 episodes right now. I'm sure it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
It has to. That honestly might be one that moves up. But for right now, B. Same with Demon Slayer. I can see that one getting better. High School of the Dead. Again, it sucks that it's dead. But
I should do that.
yeah. Monster, pretty good. I think all of these are probably properly rated. How do you feel about this list?
I think that this is pretty good. I like it. I like where pretty much everything is at.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I'm pretty confident with most of these answers. Honestly, this is probably going to change in a few years. Maybe in a few minutes. I don't know. Click off and be like, what was I thinking? But, I mean, with where things are now and what I've personally seen, like, these are the best of the best from what I've seen. And I hope that people, maybe they see this and they see something that they haven't seen before or haven't heard of, and they get to watch something from it. But, yeah. And then the S+, if you want to recommend anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think that's your best choice. Pretty all-inclusive. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to continue to watch stuff anyways and share it with each other. So we might do another one of these to share it with you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my
Well, thank you for having me.
anime list. Yeah, thanks for being here. I know you're super busy. Lots of things to do.
I mean, it's good that you got me here because in a week I'm literally gonna be busy all day, every day for like pretty much all of April.
See, I just knew to pencil you in now. So, but yeah, thank you, and I appreciate all your input and everything on all these shows. I know you haven't seen a lot of them, but the ones you have seen, I thought it was pretty insightful. But yeah, until next time, guys. God bless and stay hydrated.